Well, the Hurricanes have won the opening toss as the coin was flipped by Jeff Flanagan out of Hickson, Tennessee, the referee for tonight's game. And the Hurricanes have deferred until the start of the second half. And so Miami will be kicking off to Carolina. Defensively for Larry Coker's Hurricanes, Budrocker Atkins will be one of the ends, a sophomore from Sarasota, Florida. Baraka Atkins. The other end will be Thomas Carroll, defensively, a junior from Lakewood, New Jersey. The tackles, Orion Harris, a junior, Newark, Delaware. And the other tackle will be Kareem Brown, a junior out of Miami, filling in for the injured Santonio Thomas. The linebackers, and they're good ones, Roger McIntosh, junior, Gaffney, South Carolina. Leon Williams, junior, Brooklyn, New York. And Tavares Gooden, a sophomore from Fort Lauderdale, Florida. The corners are Kelly Jennings, a junior from Live Oak, Florida. Antrell Roll, a senior from Homestead, Florida. He is a good one. The safeties are Greg Threet, a junior from Tallahassee, and Brandon Merriweather, a junior from Apopka, Florida. That's the defensive starting lineup for Miami. Offensively for Carolina, the quarterback Darian Durant, the senior from Florence, South Carolina. The starting fullback will be Madison Hedgecock, a senior from Wahlberg. The tailback tonight, and boy, the numbers are few there, Chad Scott, senior, Plant City, Florida. The wide receivers, Mike Mason starts tonight at the split end. He's a sophomore from Rocky Mount. The other wide receiver, Jaworski Polak, a senior from Bradenton, Florida. The tight end is John Hamlet, a sophomore from Lynchburg, Virginia. The tackles, Brian Chacos on the left side, a junior from Darien, Connecticut. Willie McNeil on the right, a senior from Wagram, North Carolina. The guards, left guard, Charleston Gray, freshman, Fort Worth, Texas. Kyle Ralph, remarkable recovery over the last 2 weeks from a badly sprained ankle at Utah. He's a junior from Cincinnati, Ohio. And the center, one of the best in the country, not only the ACC, but one of the best in the land, in my opinion, Jason Brown, the senior from Henderson. Mike Mason, Tremaine Goddard are deep as Brian Monroe, the sophomore, Palm Beach Gardens, Florida, gets set to kick off. Delighted to have you with us. Mason off the goal line. 5, 10, 15, trying to get to the near side. Turns, spins away. Finally fights his way out across the 10 to about the 11-yard line. Glenn Cook on the tackle for the Hurricanes. So sorry, Sherry. No new Honda from Crown Honda of South Point. You would have won a brand new 2004 Honda Accord LX sedan from Crown Honda of South Point if that kickoff had been run back by the Tar Heels. You can log on to TarHeelBlue.com for your chance to win a brand new car from Crown Honda of High Point. Whoa, Sherry, there is life. There is a flag down, and Miami may have to kick again.
Miami was in front of the restraining line at the kickoff, and that's going to be a 5-yard penalty. Carolina could have had it tacked on to the end of the run back, but since it was not a good run back by Mason, back we go.
On the kicking team, you penalize 5 yards and re-kick.
Now Dell Roberts has come in along with Tremaine Goddard. Mike Mason has been taken out because Mike spends a little bit too much time, as far as the special team coaches are concerned, running side to side than running straight ahead.
Only one way to really return a kickoff, especially against the speed of Miami, and that is to go hard and straight up the field, pick up your wedge, then maybe cut it to the outside after you break to the second level.
Brian Monroe's got it teed up again. Looks to his right, then his left, checks everybody, coming forward, kickoff, high, end over end. It'll be a run back, and it's going to be Dell Roberts from Tallahassee from the 4. 5, 10, 15, 20. Dell Roberts, far sideline, 35, 40, 42-yard line. That's a gain of about 31 yards on that penalty. Brian Monroe, the kicker, was the guy who forced him out of bounds. So Carolina, first offensive possession of the game, will get it. Good field position just out across the Carolina 42.
Well, that changes everything. The offense has a much shorter field now from which to work, and Darian Durant and the offense trots onto the field. Durant's had the tender elbow. Coach has limited his throws this week, but he should be fine tonight.
Carolina moving left to right here in the opening period. Open field out to the right side. Carolina puts a flanker there. Then they've got a short receiver over to the left side. That's Jesse Holly. He comes in motion. Darian Durant, whistle, flags are down.
Did they get the play off?
No, they did not. Initial signal from the back judge is delay of game.
5 yards. Still first down.
So it'll be 1st and 15 for Carolina. The ball moved back to the Tar Heel 37-yard line. Carolina, by the way, penalties #1 in the ACC, tied for 6th nationally. Only an average of 4 penalties a game for 34 yards. Out over the football comes Jason Brown. Once again, they put a flanker to the right side, open side of the field. Split in to the left. Now Holly goes in motion to the formation. The give is off to Chad Scott over the right side. Scott cutting back, 50-45 of Miami, taken down. Tackled in the Miami secondary. They're saying 46-yard line. It's a run of 17 yards by the Kentucky transfer. Tavares Gooden on the tackle for Miami.
Looked like Kyle Ralph with the key block on that play. A big hole blocked into Miami's front 7. First down, Carolina into Hurricane territory.
This time open field to the left, and both Holly and Mason will set up to that side. Meanwhile, Pollock comes to the right. That's the short side, right in front of the Carolina bench. Now they use outside motion. Here's the give on the counter to Scott, and he just gets inside the 45, diving over his own right guard. Roger McIntosh, one of the linebackers, makes the tackle. Carolina coaches, the offensive coaches, they say that Florida State's linebackers are good, but they don't think quite as fast as Florida State. Meanwhile, the defensive backs are very athletic, but as Don McCauley pointed out in his key to the game, they have tended to make some mistakes thus far because of the youth back there with Amtrell Roll. So it's 2nd down and 9, the ball at the Miami 45. Durant again in the shotgun, gets the snap, the play action fake, the throws, near side, caught by Justin Phillips, out of bounds at the 39, flag down across the way at the 44-yard line. It was John Hamlet, 86, rather than Justin Phillips, 95, who made the catch along the near side. Preliminary indication is it's against Miami.
Would accept the penalty in that case.
Number 6, defense. 5 yards from the previous spot. And replay 2nd down.
Amtrell Roll offside, Mick. That means he was right up on the line of scrimmage for the Hurricanes.
Yeah, it was way out to the offense's left, Woody. The Hurricanes are in press coverage, and the coverage looked like man-free with hard man-to-man on everybody, and then a free safety roaming the hash mark right side. He was just too close to the Carolina receiver.
Well, this offense here on its opening drive of the game has given this crowd something early to get excited about. There's a good crowd in Chapel Hill tonight on just a perfect evening for football. Durant gives the ball off to Chad Scott. Scott bursts through a hole, goes to about the 35. He'll be close to the first down. Had to get to the 35 in order to make it, maybe just inside the 36. They're taking a look. Referee Jeff Flanagan, and he's going to ask the head linesman, John Godbold, to bring his crew in from the north sideline. But Rocker Atkins on the tackle for Florida State, for Miami.
These early plays that are gaining yardage are so important for the mindset of Carolina's offense to say, okay, the Hurricanes have the flashy stats, they've got the big reputation, but they're just bodies and they're good, but we can block them up and move the football against this defense.
After this next play, we'll be checking in with Lee Pace, our Beefmaster sideline reporter. His report's brought to you by Beefmaster Franks, the hot dog choice of Tar Heel fans statewide and at Kenan Stadium. Beefmaster Franks, they are the steak eaters, Frank.
Chad Scott's been a very good football player so far, making intelligent, crisp cuts at the point of attack.
Jesse Holly comes right. Mike Mason splits out to the left side. Here's Darren Durant. Play action fake, back to throw. Looking, airs it out for Mason. Caught! Inside the 5. Touchdown, Carolina. Flag down on the play at the 6.
What a play by Mike Mason just to even make a contest out of it.
Officials are discussing the infraction. Interference, Miami. Touchdown, Carolina. A 36-yard touchdown pass. Only the 8th touchdown pass against this Miami defense all year, and this is Miami's 7th game. Well, how do you do?
If it was a jump ball, Woody, and in a sense it was a football version of it, Mason was boxed out, but he made the play anyway by just timing his leap perfectly and then snaring the ball right when it was at its highest point.
A 57-yard drive in 4 plays for the score. The snap by Greg Warren. Jared Hall puts it down. Connor Barth's kick is up and good. And with 12:30, we're 2.5 minutes into this one. It's Carolina 7, Miami nothing. Well, Connor Barth, the freshman out of Hoggard High in Wilmington, who just booted that extra point for his 42nd point of the year. He is the leading rookie point maker in the ACC. He will kick off. Devin Hester, you know about him, and Darnell Jenkins are deep. And for Miami, it is Jenkins on the near side and Hester on the far side. Connor Barth, low driving kicks, going to hit. Well, out of bounds. They'll have to bring it out to the 35. That was the one thing the special team coaches at Carolina didn't want to do, was to kick it out of bounds. And James Webster is waiting on Connor Barth along the sideline, hands on hips, and now he just folds his hands, his arms rather, saying, how could you do that? I wanted you to kick it low but keep it in play, and Miami's going to get it 1st and 10 at its own 35-yard line.
Yeah, the 35 is good field position for the offense. They will take that, and it's of course why it's written up that way, that the offense gets the ball at the 35 as the penalty for a kickoff going out of bounds.
Brock Berlin, the quarterback. We'll set the Miami offense for you in just a moment. He's checking off against Carolina's 4-man front. The linebackers, 3 of them, are playing about 5 yards off the ball. Open field out to the right side. Brock Berlin will give the ball off to Frank Gore. Gore trying to get the corner turn. Runs into blue shirts. Gets 4 on the play. Over the right side, out to about the 39.5-yard line. Brian Rackley on the stop for the Tar Heels. Very quickly defensively for Carolina, Brian Rackley and Tommy Davis are the ends. The tackles are Jonas Seawright and Condreas Guy. The linebackers are Tommy Richardson, Doug Justice, and Jeff Longady. The corners, Jacoby Watkins and Sid Holt. The safeties are Gerald Sensabaugh and Kareem Taylor. Gain of 4 on the play. 2nd down and 6 from the Miami 39. This time they get motion from Olsen through the formation. Brock Berlin rolling to the open side of the field, dumps it off complete to Olsen. Olsen coming near side. Oh, what a block on Jacoby Watkins as Olsen is run out of bounds at the 48-yard line of Carolina. And it was Darnell Jenkins, the wide receiver, coming back to lay the leather on Watkins.
Miami's tight ends are a cut above both Everett and then Olsen, who originally did sign with Notre Dame. These guys have ball skill. They can block. They can make yards after the catch. They're terrific.
Miami offensively, Brock Berlin is the quarterback. Frank Gore, Quad Hill are the running backs. Lance Leggett, Darnell Jenkins are the wide receivers. The tight end, Mick told you about them. One who's in there right now is Kevin Everett. Brock Berlin. Play action fake, looking to his right, wants to throw and throws incomplete. He missed Quad Hill badly, had him open out in the right flat and threw it wide right. So it is 2nd down and 10 Miami at the Carolina 48-yard line. 7-0 if you're just joining us in favor of Carolina. That's right. The Tar Heels drove 57 yards in 4 plays. Durant to Mike Mason, 35 yards for the score and the early Tar Heel lead.
Meanwhile, Woody, at College Park, Maryland, the Terps are in the victory formation, trying to run the clock out against Florida State. 20-17 Maryland with 40 seconds left.
What a shocker that would be. Berlin under center, out of the eye. One lone wide out to the right side. Berlin with a play action fake, looking right, throws, got his receiver. Now, out of bounds is Roscoe Parrish. Far sideline at the 31-yard line, and another 1st down on a 17-yard gain. Gerald Sensabaugh, the safety from Kingsport, Tennessee, covering. Miami in the other positions, Rashad Butler and Chris Myers at the tackles, Tony Tella and Derek Morris at the guards, and Joel Rodriguez is the center. 1st and 10, Carolina 31-yard line. Miami trying to answer Carolina's opening score. The Hurricanes have marched from their own 35 to the Carolina 31. Pro I, in motion comes Parrish, back to the formation from the left. Now the give is off to Frank Gore. Gore with somewhat of a hole, drives straight up the middle. Or check it, it's Devin Hester who's gone in the ball game now at tailback. They're trying to find ways to use him more on either offense or defense. They opened the game last week over at NC State with Hester in a wide receiver position.
Yeah, he's had trouble learning the offense. He can play corner. He's trying to find a role on either offense or D.
Gain of 4, 2nd down and 6. Hill is back in the backfield. Berlin has dropped into the shotgun. They bunch 3 receivers to the left side. Open side of the field. Berlin back to throw. He's looking left. Now he turns to his right, fires, and he's got an open receiver at the 10, and he will walk into the right corner of the end zone. Lance Leggett, who got the start tonight. He's a deep threat, freshman from Arlington, Texas. He grew up outside St. Pete, Tampa, down in Florida, but then his family moved to Arlington, Texas, and so just like that, the Hurricanes have driven 65 yards to tie the score, and it took them less than 2 minutes to do it.
Yeah, Berlin had a year to throw. I mean, he's back there patting the football, looking left and then looking right.
John Petty tacks on the point after touchdown, but there is a flag down on the play. Appeared to be 12 men on the field.
Tar Heels were trying to get
against Carolina.
Yeah, Carolina was trying to get the last guy off the field. Meanwhile, it's over in College Park. Maryland improves to 4-4. The Noles drop to 6-2 as Maryland wins at 20-17. That flag is going to be picked up, so the point after touchdown is good, and it's 7-7 here at Kenan Stadium.
Well, these teams have scored on their first possessions of the game, and for Carolina, it is the 7th time out of 8 games that teams have scored on their first possession. 5 touchdowns and 2 field goals. And for Carolina, tonight was the 2nd straight game that the Tar Heels have scored on their first possession. They did it 2 weeks ago at Utah.
Well, the insulting thing about the Tar Heel defense this year is that they've given up a lot of points with no third downs. Miami drives 65 yards, 6 plays, and all the plays were either first or second down plays.
Kickoff by Monroe. High end over end kick. It'll be Dell Roberts waiting on it. No, this is going to be Tremaine Goddard. 5, 10, 15, and Goddard runs right into some blue shirts who couldn't get knocked out of the, or white shirts who couldn't get knocked out of the way by the blue shirts. And he's down at about the 18-yard line, and so that's where Carolina will start. Darian Durant earlier tonight throwing for his 9th touchdown of the season. Mike Mason catching his first touchdown pass of the year for Brock Berlin. That touchdown pass a moment ago, his 14th of the year. So Carolina putting Holly in motion to the left side. There's a loose football. Big pileup right at about the 16-yard line for it. Lee Pace, have you got a good view? Looked like Carolina got him back.
Yeah, Woody. Darian Durant bobbled the snap from Jason Brown, fell right on it, so it's still Carolina's ball, 2nd down, but the Tar Heels wasted it down there, which they cannot afford to do.
No, you got to make every down count against Miami. They will mark the ball at the 17, so it's a loss of a yard for the Tar Heels, and it'll be 2nd down and 11 at the 17.
Tar Heels went with 12 personnel there, 1 back, 2 tight ends, 2 wide receivers. The Heels do have some new wrinkles in for this game offensively. More about that in a moment.
Mike Mason comes to the right side. Jesse Holly goes to the left. Darian Durant will hand the ball off to Chad Scott. He can't get out of his backfield. Stopped for a loss on the play back at the 15-yard line. So the Tar Heels are going backwards on their first 2 plays of this series. Credit Thomas Carroll with the tackle for Miami. Wallace Wright, Jaworski Polak, Dante Fields all in the game as John Hamlet, Scott Brummett, and I believe Chad Scott come out of the lineup. So 3rd down and 13 now from the 15. Carolina spreads out its offense now. They've got 3 wideouts to the open side of the field on the left and 2 to the right on the short side. Durant out of the shotgun, back to throw. Durant looking, getting pressure, scrambles out to the right side, looking, was going to throw it. Caught by Jaworski Polak. May have the 1st down at the 32-yard line. He does.
In college football, if you leave the field of play inbounds, jump up and catch the ball, and then you're pushed out of bounds, it is not a catch. But the officials ruled that not only does Jaworski catch that ball, but he comes down with 1 foot inbounds. A phenomenal athletic play by the Tar Heel receiver.
And Brandon Merriweather, the free safety who made the tackle, is shaken up on the play, and the Miami trainers have come to get him along the boundary. So Carolina converts its first 3rd down play of the game. The Tar Heels are converting on the year at 38%, 5th best in the league. Miami converting 34%. That's number 6, but Miami's defense yielding only 28% of the 3rd down conversions by the opposition. So 1st down and 10 Carolina. Ball at the Tar Heel 32-yard line. Out of the straight I formation now with a split end to the right and flanker left. Darian Durant's got Hedgecock and Scott in behind him. He'll give the ball off to Scott, trying to get wide to the left side. Cuts it off, a good block. He's to the 40 and out of bounds on the far side of the field. Jesse Holley made an awfully good block on the corner at about the 35-yard line. Greg Threed on the stop, but Jesse Holley, who's probably going to try a little basketball again this winter, Mick, has been a good blocking wide receiver all year for Carolina.
Yeah, Miami had just a four-man rush there with the 3 linebackers and the 4 DBs. They're regular people in. And their front four, they're incredible. They get pass rush without having to bring a 5th and a 6th body many times. And they get penetration that way as well.
1st and 10, Carolina at its own 44-yard line. Scott 5 carries, 32 yards. Carolina with its 5th first down of the game. Here's Durant. Will run the option out to Chad Scott. Scott cuts it back in right in front of the Miami bench and brings it out to about the 47, 48-yard line. Thomas Carroll, Tavares Gooden combine on the tackle for the Hurricanes. 8:48 and clock running down. Left to play in the opening period. It is Carolina 7, Miami 7. Tar Heels scored first, took the opening kickoff, drove 57 yards in 4 plays. There were 2 penalties along the way. Durant to Mason for 35. Miami answered back, 65-yard drive in 6 plays. Berlin to Leggett for the final 27. Gain of 4 on that last play, so 2nd down and 6, Carolina off its own 48-yard line. Open field out to the right side. Durant will roll now to his right, looking, shoots a pass, caught. Holley should have the first down if they give him his forward progress. No, well, they're going to put it at the 45 of Miami, and that should be enough. Yes, first down, Carolina.
Motion is used for several different things. You can get an additional blocker to the opposite side of a formation with motion, and it can also be a great diagnostic tool to tell what the coverage is. If you send a man in motion and then the defense sends a man with him, then you've got a pretty good guess that at least on that side of the field it's man covered.
Miami's got its nickel package in there now with Marcus Maxey. Chad Scott off the left side, 40, 35, 30, down to the 27-yard line. Goes the senior from Plant City, Florida. It's another Tar Heel first down with 7:44 left on the first quarter clock. Marcus Maxey, about whom I just spoke, he's the nickel back for Larry Coker's defense, made the tackle.
Brown, Chacos, Ralph, the other Tar Heel O-lineman controlling the Miami front there, and then Chad Scott with yet another good cut. When he's making his cuts, he's still going forward. He's just giving Miami a little fake here and there so that they don't have the angle on it. This is good running tonight by Chad.
Scott's averaging better than 5 yards a carry, but he's only carried it coming into this game 45 times for 236 yards. Here's Durant rolling out to his right, being pursued. Going to pull it down and run with it, and Durant's out of bounds at about the 26-yard line. So he gets a couple of yards on the play. And Durant showed some pretty good speed, out sprinting the Florida State defense to the boundary.
He's a thick-legged kid, but he's a lot faster than people think he is. Darian Durant may be the quarterback that breaks the long drought of quarterbacks. The Tar Heels have not had a QB in the NFL take a regular season snap in a non-strike year ever.
Chad Scott, 7 carries, 54 yards, goes to the sideline. Vince Wilson, a true freshman out of Mainland High School in Daytona Beach, is on the field, lined up behind Hitchcock in the eye. Durant will be under center. Miami slipping some linebackers up on the line of scrimmage, and here they come, but Jason Brown never snapped the ball, but whistles sound and flags are down all over the place. So referee Jeff Flanagan will get everything sorted out, talking with 3 of his working crew members tonight. And here's Mr. Flanagan to tell us what happened.
Dead ball. Ball started. 77 off. 5 yards. Still 2nd down.
That's redshirt freshman Charleston Gray out of Fort Worth, Texas. And the penalty will move it back to the 31-yard line and bring up 2nd down and about 13 to go for the first down.
Not surprising that it was a young player that flinched with the Miami front four snorting and pawing at the earth up front. They're excellent.
Scott has returned at tailback. He's back there to the left of Darian Durant. He gets motion now with Pollock. This is outside motion. Here's Durant on the fake. Durant pulls it down. 25, 20, 15 coming to the near side, inside the 10 on the quarterback keeper. He faked play action that time, and Miami took it hook, line, and sinker, thinking it was a handoff into the line, and suddenly Durant is sprinting left side and into the secondary.
One of the most beautiful plays in football when it works well, the option. The Tar Heels bring a wide receiver around to maintain a pitch relationship with the quarterback, and then after that fake into the line, Darian just kept it, found a seam, and picked up the first down.
Hedgecock and Ricky Cook will now set the power I behind Durant on 1st and goal at the 7, right in front of the east end zone. Both ends in tight. Here's Durant back. He's going to throw, and it's incomplete. And there's a flag down. I think they're going to call interference on Roll. How about this? Carolina is working on one of the best cornerbacks in the country, Antrell Roll. Mike Mason caught his touchdown pass over Roll a bit earlier, and that time they tried to throw the fade over Roll.
It's against the offense.
Well, they're going to call it, I believe, against Jesse Holley. John Bunting takes his headset off. He can't believe it. Lee Pace on the sideline. What did you see?
Yeah, John Bunting just told the official, "You're kidding me. I couldn't see. It was on the other side of the field, so I didn't get a good view at it." But Gunnar Brewer doesn't like it, and John Bunting doesn't like it from this side.
Second penalty here for the Tar Heels on this drive. It is now 1st and goal, but it's all the way back out to the 22-yard line.
They were chicken fighting, just doing the things that the receiver and the DB do. I thought it would have been a good no call. When the flag went down, I really didn't think it was interference against Roll, but nor did I think that it was interference against Jesse Holley.
In other words, you thought they might pick it up.
Yeah, or better yet, never throw it.
Holley and Mason go to the left. Pollock is to the right. Pollock goes in motion now through the formation to the left. Here's the give on the draw play off to Chad Scott. Miami waiting on him. They just pushed Kyle Ralph and Willie McNeil right back into the backfield as they came with heavy pursuit on the play. So the loss of 4. Baraka Atkins on the stop for Miami, the principal tackler. So it will be 2nd and goal from the 26. 6:10 left to play, first period, 7-7, Carolina, Miami. Carolina had a honest to goodness threat, 1st and goal at the 7, but then pass interference against the Tar Heels. 2 receivers go left, open side. Now Pollock with outside motion. Here's Durant back to throw, gets it out to Pollock. Pollock trying to get to the sideline, pulls back inside against Jennings, goes inside the 25 to about the 23-yard line. So gets only 3 on the play. McIntosh and Jennings on the tackle. Tonight in the ball game, when you hear me say outside motion, Carolina normally motions wide receivers right behind the quarterback if he's under center. In this case, what they're doing is they're motioning behind the setbacks, or behind the quarterback if he's in the shotgun. So that's the outside motion. Hedgecock, the lone running back with Durant. He's set up to Durant's right. They've got 3 wide receivers out to the right side. Durant gets the snap. Here comes Miami. Durant to throw. Airs it out for Holley, and he can't get to it. Looked like somebody had a handful of jersey, but no flag on the play.
Everybody in Kenan Stadium is reaching for their imaginary handkerchiefs and trying to coax one of the officials to do the same, but it'll be 4th down, and on comes Connor Barr. The Videotron high in the east end zone has just replayed the play, and everybody in this stadium wearing light blue has punched each other and said, "See, I told you there was interference." It was. It should have been called.
This will be a 39-yard field goal off the left hash. Jarrett Hall holding for rookie Connor Barth. Snap, spot, kick is away. High enough, long enough, no good. He pulled it. It went to the left on him, and that will break a streak for the youngster out of Wilmington. He had been frustrated after missing an early 47-yarder against Georgia Tech. And since then, I think he had been perfect. We've got timeout on the field. 5:02 left to play opening quarter. Carolina 7, Miami 7, as the Tar Heels fail for one of the first few times this year to get points in the red zone.
7-7 still the score. 5:02 to play in what has been a lengthy first period of football.
Mick, it's one of the toughest jobs in the country, I think, officiating college football. But as this league gets so much better in football as one of the premier leagues in the nation, this league's got to make sure its officiating is right up there with the quality of play.
Got to definitely address that. The Big Ten has really jumped out there with some innovation that ACC has to keep pace.
Miami 1st and 10 from its own 23-yard line. The give is off to Gore. Frank Gore started over his own left guard and then veered off to his right and comes out to about the 28-yard line. Jonas Seawright on the tackle for Carolina.
I think a good place to start would be replay. For a televised game, I just don't see any reason not to take advantage of the technology that's available.
2nd down and 5. Ball at the Miami 28-yard line. Hurricanes' second possession of the game. Score tied 7-7. Miami with one lone running back. Ends are in tight. They've got a flanker right and left. Here's Brock Berlin to throw. Looking, shoots it near side, and it is caught at the 39-yard line. And it was Akeem Jala on the catch. So it'll be an 11-yard gain, and it'll give Miami a 1st and 10 at its own 39-yard line.
Berlin's too comfortable back there. The Tar Heels have tried to get to him, but the Miami O-line doesn't give up many sacks, and Brock's having time to look over his route tree.
Miami 1st and 10 now at the 39. Quad Hill is back at tailback. Berlin is in the shotgun. Hill lined up just to his left. Open field out to the right. Here's Berlin to throw. Flags are dropped all over the place, and the whistles sound, and they're going to move in and stop play. So the play never really developed for Miami.
Ball start. Number 8, offense. 5 yards. Still 1st down.
Darnell Jenkins, the guilty party. It'll be 1st and 15 back at the 34. We've already had our Dodge scoring drive of the night. Carolina. 4 plays, 57 yards. It took 2.5 minutes. Opening possession of the game. Grabbed life by the horns. Dodge. Roscoe Parrish, Jenkins go way yonder to the right. Jala is to the left. 1st and 15 from the 34. They run the counter, and a good hit on the left side against Quad Hill by Tommy Davis, knocking him down for very little gain, maybe a yard. So 2nd and 14 at the 35.
Tommy Richardson was also there to help clean up the play. A good little 2-man game there on the defense's right side by Tommy Davis and Tommy Richardson, displaying their football instincts and athleticism.
7-7 the score. Just over 3 minutes left to play opening period on a great October evening in Chapel Hill. Berlin in the shotgun. Bunches 3 receivers to the right, got 1 to the left. Berlin looking to throw. Now will dump off the screen. Caught by Hill. Hill's at the 40, the 45, across midfield to the Carolina 49, and down he goes. So it's a 1st down for Miami. Kareem Taylor on the tackle for Carolina.
Some people get confused as to the different terminologies on the screens. There are so many of them. The bubble screen, a jailbreak screen are both wide receiver screens. The slow screen is generally thrown to a back coming out of the backfield.
Longany and Justice are into the Carolina lineup defensively. Gore is in with Hill. They line up in the I behind Berlin. Split in to the left, flanker to the right. The give is off to Gore, and Gore finds the going tough. Tried the left side and ran into the arms of about 3 blue shirts. Rackley, Justice, and I think Richardson there. So there's a gain of very little, maybe half a yard on the play. Let's call it, for convenience sake, 2nd down and 9.
Canes still don't have a 3rd down situation in this game.
2 minutes to play, opening period. Score tied 7-all. Again, the pro I. Split into the left. Flanker to the right, open side of the field. Berlin under center against Carolina's 5-man front. Berlin back to throw. Quick drop, looking, shoots a pass, incomplete. So 3rd down and 9. Milan Carey coming in along with Quentin Person. Carolina's defense asking for noise, and the crowd responds. This crowd has been great thus far. First 3rd down of the game for the Hurricanes. They're converting, but 34% on the year. Here's Berlin back to throw, getting pressure, dumps off the pass, caught. And going to the far side of the field is Moss. Moss turns it back, goes inside the 30-yard line, using speed as he went right across the middle on a crossing pattern. Sensabaugh makes the tackle on the play, but it is Sonoris Moss, a junior from Miami, Florida. Only his 9th catch of the season, but he already has 2 touchdowns this year against Florida State and NC State. 22-yard gain on a 3rd and 9.
Well, I like the call, though, by the Heels. They didn't play it conservatively. They tried to stun and at least get to Brock on a passing situation.
1st and 10, Carolina 26-yard line. Berlin under center. Got a wing formation to the right side. Berlin, quick drop, going to throw, and it's caught. And going down the near sideline and into the end zone for the touchdown is Roscoe Parrish. Carolina's corner, Sadholt, came up and tried to make the play on it. Had a chance at the interception, left his feet. And it was Roscoe Parrish who made the catch and takes it into the left corner of the end zone for the touchdown. And there's offside against Carolina. There's a penalty on the play. Lee Pace along the Carolina sideline.
Yeah, Cedric Holt made a valiant effort. He dove for the ball, was just a split second late. Tommy Richardson came up, said, good try, we'll get him next time. But it was just an unfortunate judge of error by Cedric Holt on that play and led to the Miami touchdown.
Berlin's second pass of the night for Parrish. It is his 6th touchdown reception of the season, and all of them have come in the last 4 games for Miami. Point after touchdown is good. 1:12 to play, opening quarter, Chapel Hill. It's now Miami 14, Carolina 7.
Jody Zoidner, Woody, pointing out that the Hurricanes have 147 yards of total offense on only 14 plays. So they're averaging better than 10 yards a play against this embattled Tar Heel defense.
And Carolina's offense driving into the red zone with a 1st and goal at the 7 on its last possession. Then came some penalties and finally a missed 39-yard field goal by Connor Barr. 14-7, set to kick off Brian Monroe. Goddard and Roberts are deep. High end over end kick. Roberts chasing it, watching it hit in the end zone, and Carolina will bring it out to the 20-yard line. 1:12 remaining to be played in the opening quarter. And Carolina will take over. The Carolina offense tonight has moved the ball well. 136 yards of offense for Carolina. And the plays that the Tar Heels have had tonight, 16 plays to get the 136 yards.
Vince Wilson in at tailback. Ricky Cook in at fullback for Carolina.
Darian Durant, the quarterback, will set up under center. Strong side to the right. Got some receivers bunched over there. The tight end is Jacques Dumas. Now the fake, and now Durant coming to the left side. He's in trouble and fights his way back to the line of scrimmage over the left side. Tackle made by Jayon Nanton. So no gain on the play. 2nd down and 10, Carolina at its own 20-yard line. John Hamlet, Chad Scott going in for the Tar Heels. Dumas, Cook, Wilson all come out. Tar Heels also put another player on the field. They'll bring 2 receivers in a slot formation to the right side. That's open side of the field. They'll put little Jaworski Polak all by himself out to the left. Miami locked on and man-to-man. Here's Durant wanting to throw over the middle to Polak. He's hit. Ball knocked away, incomplete. And Polak really took a shot from Greg Threet, the strong safety. 3rd down and 10. Ball at the Carolina 20.
Antrell Roll was on Jesse Holley man-to-man in the middle of the field. Roll is so hard to get a free release off of the line of scrimmage off of. He is so fast and physical, plays right up on you and just jolts you when you try to get into your pass route.
Randy Shannon, who came back to Miami from the Miami Dolphins, seems to have made some key adjustments defensively for the Hurricanes. Here's Durant back to throw on 3rd down, looking, shoots it sideline, incomplete. Wanted to go to Mason, but he was covered closely by Jennings out at about the 31-yard line. So it is a 3 and out for Carolina at a time when the Tar Heel offense can ill afford it. And so David Woolridge, 3rd in the ACC with a 42.8 average, will kick it away to, buckle your seatbelt, Devin Hester. He's standing back at about the 40. He has run back 3 punts and a kickoff this year for touchdowns. Snap to Woolridge. Gets the kick away. High, short kick. Ball goes out of bounds, and it won't be a very good one when they finally mark it. And it's going to be marked at the 42-yard line. It is only a 22-yard punt. And James Webster, who was frustrated earlier with Connor Barth, is now equally frustrated with David Woolridge on his effort to kick it out of bounds and kicking it no farther than 22 yards.
Well, it's like playing one-on-one with your older brother when he's going to block your shot, so you don't shoot, or you shoot one that wouldn't go in anyway. The threat of Hester has Carolina off stride in the kicking game. A kickoff mistake, and then the poor punt there by Woolridge because of this track star Miami's got back there.
The one thing they couldn't afford to do is give Miami a short field. 1st and 10, Carolina 42. Leggett and Parrish are the wide receivers. Here's Berlin, play action fake, will hand it off to Parrish on the reverse, going to the right side, and Parrish is hit by Carolina, knocked down at the 40, a gain of only 2 on the play, and it was well played by the Tar Heels. Tommy Richardson, the junior from Miami, Florida, was the principal tackler. 2nd and 8, Carolina at the 40.
First quarter.
And the first quarter has run its course in Chapel Hill. So after the first 15 minutes of play tonight in Kenan Stadium, where Miami is playing for the first time since 1963. It's Miami 14, Carolina 7.
We'll start the second quarter with Miami in pretty good shape, good field position, up 7 points, and an important point in the ball game here for the Tar Heel defense.
2nd down and 8 for Miami at the Carolina 40-yard line. Tyrone Moss is in at tailback. Brock Berlin under center. He'll get motion now to the right side. Here's Berlin back to throw. Pressure coming from the backside. Berlin dumps off the screen to Olsen, and it's incomplete. So that'll bring up 3rd down and 8 now at the 40. And it was Jeff Longity and Doug Justice putting pressure from the right side of the Carolina defense on Brock Berlin. So 3rd down and 8. Miami's second 3rd down play of the night.
Coaches talk all the time about hurries or pressures. Even if you don't get a sack, if you can at least get in the quarterback's vision, make him throw too quickly, sometimes it's almost as good as a sack.
Brock Berlin backing into the shotgun now. Frank Gore is his tailback, set up to the left. 2 wide receivers go left, 1 to the right. Snap. They hand the ball off to Gore, and Gore is stopped at the 35. He did not make the first down. Jonas Seawright on the tackle. He hit off his right side, taking the handoff from Berlin going inside, and he just kept kind of bouncing off people and moving ahead, and I was reluctant to say the Tar Heels have got him stopped until they actually had him on the green grass at Kenan. So now Brian Monroe is coming in to kick it away. Monroe is averaging 40.4 yards a kick, 8th best in the ACC, and Carolina has nobody back, thinking that he'll kick this ball into the end zone. This is the first 3 and out of the game for the Hurricanes. And Monroe hangs it high, and this ball is going to carry on into the end zone, and it'll be brought out to the 20-yard line. So 14:08 remaining to be played in the first half here in Chapel Hill, and Carolina's offense has got to get the ball back with the Tar Heels trailing 14-7.
If I was Miami, I would have tried to draw Carolina offside there. If you don't do that, just take a delay of game penalty, move back 5 yards, and then you can hit your full wedge if you're the punter instead of having to hit a 3/4 nip shot.
Darren Durant getting the offensive instructions from coordinator Gary Trankel via the phone, and Andre Powell relaying those instructions to him. Joins the huddle, brings them out. Madison Hedgecock's the tailback, the lone receiver. Ricky Cook in motion from the right side. The give is off to Hedgecock. Hedgecock pounds it over his own left guard, comes out to about the 23-yard line. Tavares Gooden on the first hit for Miami. So a gain of about 3 on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 7. 14-7 to score. Carolina broke on top first, 7-0. Miami tied it. Then Carolina drove into the red zone. Got stalled by a pass interference call. And then Connor Barth missed a 39-yard field goal. And Miami promptly drove 77 yards in 8 plays. Berlin to Parrish 26 yards. And that's our story. Durant under center. Split into the left, flanker right. Durant to throw, throwing over the middle of the field, and it's overthrown. Holly looked like he got hooked up with Antrell Roll and could never break free from him to be running free down the middle of the field. So it'll bring up now 3rd down and 7:23. We pause quickly, 10 seconds. Station identification on the Tar Heel Sports Network. Darian Durant hit his first 4 passes, but he has misfired on his last 4 attempts. Mason comes to the left side. Holly and Polak go to the right. Durant in the shotgun now, facing 3rd down and long. Durant back to throw, getting pressure. Shoots a pass, caught, 1st down and more. Out across the 35, Jesse Holly gets it out to about the 38, possibly the 39-yard line. Marcus Maxey on the tackle, but the Tar Heels convert their 2nd 3rd down of the night, and Mick, all of them have been 3rd and long.
Well, that was a good job by the O-line. Miami had the bull rush on, and they got their pads up under Carolina's pads, but the Heels were able to keep the floodwaters out of the pocket long enough for Darian to connect with Jesse.
Jayon Natton has gone to the sideline, holding his shoulder on the right shoulder. So that's a defensive substitution now for Miami as Thomas Carroll is back at right defensive end. Polak in motion now. Durant on the play-action fake. Now dumps it off. Got a wide-open John Hamlet at the 40, the 45. Knocked off his pins at the 47-yard line. Antrell Roll coming up really to take him down with a roll tackle on the far side of the field. So it will be 2nd down and a short 2 to go for the 1st down.
It's been an excellent offensive game plan and good execution by the Heels for the most part tonight against an elite defense. The Tar Heels have had 1 3 and out. 1st downs about even. Carolina a slight edge. Time of possession, Carolina a big edge.
Chad Scott back in the Carolina lineup at tailback. 8 carries thus far tonight for 50 yards. He lines up to the left of Durant. Wide slot left side to get outside motion now from Polak. Here's Durant following Scott for the 1st down across midfield. He sent Scott up, play action fake, rode him a little bit, pulled the ball out, and followed Scott right over his own left guard. Thomas Carroll on the tackle, but 1st down Carolina as Cook and Hedgecock are in, and Scott and Holly come out.
The quarterbacks follow for good yardage, and I'll be interested to see how much more Chad Scott can play tonight because he was such an important part of Carolina's ground attack in the 1st quarter.
Mike Mason goes to the right side, right in front of the Miami bench. Jaworski Polak comes left, open side of the field. Durant under center in the eye, and he's got Beef behind him. He'll give the ball off to Madison Hedgecock. Hedgecock drops back and ran into one of his own players trying to make a block, but somehow managed to fight his way for about 4 yards to the 45. They're going to say not quite to the 45. I think they're going to mark his forward progress at about the 45.5-yard line. Orion Harris, junior tackle out of Newark, Delaware, on the stop for Miami.
Not bad, though. 4 yards rushing, maybe not quite 4 yards when Miami had that play pretty well spilled out to the corner and the linebacker. Madison turned it up inside.
Durant under center. Hedgecock the lone running back behind him. Polak and Mason go to the right side. Here's the give off to Hedgecock. Hedgecock looking for a block, lowers his head. Couldn't find anybody to really get somebody out of the way. It was Jason Brown, the center, who had pulled and was trying to open the hole over the right side, but Miami did a good job of filling it, mainly Roger McIntosh, the strong side linebacker.
Yeah, you had one Tar Heel blocker, Jason Brown, trying to block 3 Hurricanes. That's what they do, though. Miami gets off of you, and they flow very hard, and they're excellent tacklers. So 3rd down 4, big play here for the Tar Heel offense.
You aren't kidding. Tar Heels up to the line of scrimmage. Chad Scott back in at tailback. Durant dropping into the shotgun. Scott set up to his left. Durant gets a snap from Jason Brown. Back to throw. Looking. Shoots it over the middle. Caught for the, well, short of the 1st down by about a yard. Jaworski Polak made the catch. Need to get to the 39. Now listen to this crowd. Lee Pace, I think the crowd wants them to go for it, and they are. Hedgecock, Cook are in. Jacques Dumas also coming in for Carolina. Carolina 2 of 5 in 3rd downs, and on the year in 4th downs, the Tar Heels are 5 for 11.
John Bunning telling them to quieten down.
Yeah, now the sideline asking for the students to be quiet. Durant checking off. Sets him up in the eye. Cook and Hedgecock in behind him. They get motion now with Brummett. Here's the handoff to Madison Hedgecock. Cuts it back more than the 1st down. Driving inside the 35, inside the 30. Goes Mad Dog from Wahlberg. Ricky Cook on a terrific block to get his teammate and his team a 1st down.
Just puts chills on your skin when you see Madison Hedgecock, the Tar Heel offensive line, not afraid They get off the ball as one. They get the ball. First of all, they get the playoff in 25 seconds, which was not a given. And it's a first down for the Tar Heels. The drive remains alive.
Congratulations to Hitchcock. He's going to the Hula Bowl in January out in Maui. Jason Brown, Gerald Sensabaugh, and Madison Hitchcock now all in postseason all-star games. The handoff. It goes to Carolina, and Chad Scott as the ball carrier off the right side. He faked the reverse that time, but he gave the ball off to Scott, and it was almost, Mick, as if the Miami defense bit on the reverse.
Well, two components have been added to the Tar Heel attack. It's not that they've been missing all year, but they're emphasizing more tonight. Misdirection and also the option. Both good strategies against the speed and aggressiveness of the Miami defense.
This is the 11th play in this drive that started back at the Carolina 20. 14-7, Miami leads it. Carolina trying to tie. Durant will give the ball now to Chad Scott, trying to get wide. Oh, he cannot do it, and all over him, Brandon Merriweather. But a flag is down on the far side of the field at the 19, and that's where Carolina had to go to get the first down. And it's going to be against Miami. Early indication from Carolina tight end Scott Brummett.
Offside. Defense, number 92. 5 yards the previous spot. And replay second down.
That is Orion Harris.
It's a first down. The official said it wrong. It's not going to be a replay of second down. First down for the Tar Heels.
The penalty will move the ball to the 15, where it will be 1st and 10. That's the Miami 15-yard line.
Yeah.
And Stephen Bell has come in now. Is there a problem up front in the offensive line, Lee?
Brown was shaken up there. I think this is the first time he's been out all year.
Well, Darian Durant, and you have to be wary here of center quarterback exchange problems. Darian Durant under center. Durant will give the ball off now to Chad Scott. Scott running into the secondary. 10, 5, Scott, touchdown! Look like that these heavy equipment companies turn out, but Carolina had a human road grader that time on the left side.
Boy, some good blocking, the fullback Madison Hitchcock, and then some shifty, some shaking, some baking by Chad Scott. He's brought an element to Carolina's rushing attack that hadn't been seen around here for several years.
Snap, ball put down, kick is up by Connor Barth. Good. We've got a tie game with 8:09 to play in the first half, as Carolina drives 80 yards for the score, and Chad Scott gets his 3rd touchdown of the season. Carolina 14, Miami 14.
Almost like the laws of physics. One of the laws of offensive football is that you just can't block all the tacklers. So what you need to counteract that, you need some scheme, you need some good blocking, but then you need a back that can make people miss in space. And Chad Scott brings that to the table.
Devin Hester, Darnell Jenkins are deep for the Hurricanes. Hester near side, Jenkins far side, as Connor Barth gets set to kick off. This is a low kick, squibbing along the ground, finally picked up at about the 24. Miami trying for the run back, and the run back is by John Beeson, a backup linebacker, who brings it out to about the 36-yard line, maybe the 37, and a Hurricane, very slow to get up on the play, is Glenn Cook, another backup linebacker.
You know, it seemed like Utah didn't have anybody slow to get up, and the Tar Heels had injured player after injured player. Tonight, Carolina is delivering some licks, and the Hurricanes several times have been on silly street.
So Brock Berlin, with the Hurricanes moving left to right, sets him up with Talib Humphrey, the fullback, and Tyrone Moss, the tailback, lined up in the I. Split in to the left, flanker to the right. The give is off to Moss, and he can't get out of his own backfield. Gerald Sensabaugh and Doug Justice closing quickly to shut off any running lane.
Well, Doug Justice, I mean, it's probably unfair. Doug hadn't played as much. He had the great high school reputation coming in, but he's not lead-footed. I mean, he got right in the hole, vacated by the pulling guard there, and made the play from behind.
This time Miami sets it up Strong side to the left, but they put a slot formation to the right side. That's open field. They get motion now with Gore, and they toss it out to him on the screen. Gore trying to cut back middle of the field. Missed tackles by the Tar Heels. Quentin Person's got to run him down. Gore got the corner, or it's Devin Hester, rather. Devin Hester, number 4, rather than Frank Gore, number 3. And there again, they slip Hester into the lineup. And boy, what a burst of speed to take it all the way to the 39-yard line. 25-yard run by Devin Hester, the sophomore from Riviera Beach, Florida.
The offense knows you're in man coverage. They know what man's assigned to your receiver, so then they can use another receiver to crack that man, and a lot of times it'll be free yards out there.
He's a sophomore, but they're trying to bring him along and gradually work him more into the offense, and he's been in more tonight offensively than he was against State. The give is off this time to Tyrone Moss, and Moss slamming up the middle, bouncing away to the left. Goes inside the 35 to the 34 for a gain of about 5 on the play, maybe 6. They're going to mark it at the 33, so 2nd down and 4.
Just need the defense to give you a chance. I mean, you know Miami's going to score some points, but you need some stops, some turnovers, some minus yardage plays.
Out of the eye, split into the left, flanker to the right, Berlin under center. Carolina backs off a linebacker. Berlin gives the ball again to Moss. Moss trying to get to the right side, and Moss is hit, stacked up at about the 32. Gets a yard, 2 at most out of the play. So it'll be 3rd down and a good long 3, almost 4 yards to go. Credit Rackley and Davis with a stop.
Something about night football this year here at Kenan Stadium. The Tar Heels have been a different team once the sun goes down here at home this season.
This crowd very much into it. Once again tonight, the students have led the way, just as they did against Georgia Tech and NC State. Parrish will be the lone wideout to the right side. Gore and Moss lined up behind Berlin under center. He gets motion now with Everett. Now he'll fake, hands the ball off to Everett. Everett trapped in the backfield and taken down by Jeff Longity. For a loss on the play, it'll be 4th down.
That's an excited Tar Heel defensive unit. That's as enthused a group as we've seen since the NC State game here in Chapel Hill. 4th down, 5. Miami doesn't have much choice. They're going to send the kicking team on, try to get a long field goal out of this.
Miami is 1 of 3 in 3rd down conversions. Petty on the year, 9 of 15, including a 49-yarder against Georgia Tech. This will be a 51-yard attempt almost straight away. The snap, the spot, kick is away, high enough, long enough, and it is no good. So both sides have missed a field goal here in the first 25 minutes of play. First Carolina, and now Miami, and it remains a 14-14 ball game here in Chapel Hill. 5:07 left in the first half. It is 14-14. And Carolina takes over 1st and 10 with the nose of the ball right at the 35 of the Tar Heels. Ball about equidistance between the 2 sidelines. Durant under center. Split in to the right, flanker to the left. They'll get motion now out of the flanker. They're going to hand the ball off to Jesse Holly, trying to get wide. Holly spins away and goes to about the 37, maybe 38-yard line before Greg Threet, the strong safety, and weak side backer Tavares Gooden come up to make the stop. So 2nd down, and let's call it 7. Ball at the 37-yard line of the Tar Heels.
Boy, Miami's got linebackers to die for, the way they can run and make plays from behind and catch up to a Jesse Holly, tackle him from behind. That's impressive.
And we're getting a timeout. Timeout called by the Tar Heels, and it is the first timeout taken by either side here tonight in Chapel Hill.
First downs, Woody, are Carolina 13, Miami 8. All Miami's first downs have been via the air, and 2 names I think we ought to call out early on here in the game, because Jeff Longany and Doug Justice have both been playing solid linebacker. They've been aggressive, they've been in the right spots tonight, and they've been sure tacklers, both of them.
Carolina facing 2nd and 7 at the 37. Score tied, 14-all, 4:32 to play first half. Here's Durant. He'll give the ball off to Chad Scott, trying to get wide to the left side. Scott carries for what should be the first down across the 45 of Carolina. Greg Threet, the strong safety who's been in on a lot of plays, was the guy who chased him down right in front of the Tar Heel bench.
Charleston Gray, good block. Ricky Cook, a good block, and it'll be a first down for the Tar Heels. You know, Miami really didn't have a chance, Woody, to prepare for Chad Scott because they have not seen this running back. The Chad Scott they're seeing tonight, they have not seen on any game tape yet.
Already his best night as a Tar Heel, Mick, 81 yards and 11 carries. When he was at Kentucky, he rushed 117 yards, 1999 against Mississippi State. First and 10 at the Carolina 45. Outside motion now with Pollock. And the give is off up the middle to Scott. 45, 40, near side, 30, 25, 20, 15, and out of bounds, Chad Scott. First and 10, Carolina.
That option is working. The Tar Heels spent time on it on the practice field, and they're running it like it's been a base component of the offense all season long.
A 40-yard run by Chad Scott out of Plant City, Florida, the Kentucky transfer. And he got Miami's defense in position that Miami had some defenders blocking each other. So first and 10 at the Miami 15. 14-14 the score. Carolina threatening in front of the West goal. Motion now by Pollock to the right side. Durant will hand the ball off to Scott. Scott trying to go right, hemmed in, slips down, loses 3 on the play back at the 18. Roger McIntosh, the Gaffney, South Carolina linebacker, was there for Miami.
After a long run like that, you wonder about the wisdom of giving the ball right back to that same back again. Don McCauley maybe can address this at halftime, but you know the athletes are so fit. I'm sure Chad could. I mean, the play might have worked. It might have gained great yardage, but Chad just looked a little winded there.
Well, he's come out now. Andre Powell's got an arm around his shoulder talking to him as Madison Hedgecock has replaced him. Tar Heels will try to drop the hammer now. Hedgecock lined up to the left of Durant, who's in the shotgun. He's got 3 receivers to the left side. Here's the snap to Durant. Durant looking, open receiver. And it is Brummett into the end zone for the touchdown. What a great call by Gary Tranquil. He had his offensive formation overload to the left side with his 3 wide receivers. He made a play action fake. And Brummett, nobody picked him up. The closest guy to him when he went into the end zone, I think, was Greg Threet. And it is 20-14 Carolina after a 65-yard drive. Connor Barth for the punt after touchdown. Greg Warren will snap it. Jared Hall will put it down. Barth's kick is up. Perfect. Timeout on the field. 3:03 remaining to be played first half. It is now gone to Carolina 21, Miami 14.
The Tar Heel offensive line has done a tremendous job. No turnovers for the Tar Heels. No sacks. 168 yards rushing against Miami so far, and Chad Scott has 118 of it. Meanwhile, Darian Durant has been sharp throwing the football, and it all adds up to a 21-14 lead over Miami. 3:03 to play in the first half. Durant, Woody, hit his first 4, missed his next 4 passes, and then has hit his last 4.
Driving kick, ball hits, takes a bounce, picked up at the 15-yard line. Coming back up the middle of the field is Jenkins. And it is Darnell Jenkins brought down at about the 32-yard line. And that's where Miami is going to start now with 5 ticks of the clock, under 3 minutes left to play in the first half.
Miami's last 2 possessions, they have a missed field goal and a punt. So, again, credit to the Tar Heel defense for helping to make a game out of this.
There has not been a turnover. Mick, you mentioned Carolina has not turned it over. They had only 3 in their last 3 games, and Miami, with only 8 turnovers all year, has not turned it over either. Brock Berlin under center. He's got a split end to the left side, flanker to the right. Now the give is off to the tailback, second man through, and this is Frank Gore, the junior out of Coral Gables. Driving out across the 35 over his own right guard to about the 37, maybe 38-yard line. Gore's had a very tough career at Miami, out all of 2002 with knee surgery, then only 5 games last year before he suffered another knee injury.
Right ACL 1 year, left ACL the next year.
Second down and 5, Miami at its own 37-yard line. Bunched in tight, split in to the left, flanker to the right. Berlin will hand the ball off. And there's not much running room, maybe a yard, 2 at most. over the left side out to the 39-yard line. And again, Frank Gore, the ball carrier. So it'll be third down.
Miami's kind of got and they're champions. I mean, they're good, as Woody said earlier, but Miami's kind of got man, who are these guys feeling right now about the Tar Heels? Carolina's played inspirational football so far.
Milan Carey and Quentin Person get into the lineup. Carey from Marietta, Georgia. Person, Greenville, North Carolina. Third down. 4 from the 39 of Miami. Berlin to throw. Berlin looking, shoots a pass, incomplete. It'll force fourth down. Pass intended for Lance Leggett. Berlin on the night. 8 of 12 for 156 yards.
Quentin Person, he's done a good job tonight.
Second 3 and out for the Hurricanes this evening. Jaworski Polak is deep, back at the 20, waiting on Brian Monroe's punt. Greg Olson, the tight end, will make the snap. Kick is away. Boy, it's a high one. Polak will let it go. Ball bouncing inside the 25 to about the 23-yard line. Miami's going to down it right there. So 1:26 remaining to be played in the first half here at Chapel Hill, and it's a 21-14 Carolina lead. Remember now, Miami's going to get the ball at the outset of the second half.
One of the great healers of injuries and of all time is a game like this. I mean, those injured players, they're over there on the sideline, not nearly. I mean, they're thinking, man, I may be able to come back next week. This looks like a fun team to be a part of.
Well, the key statement on Thursday during our meeting with the Carolina coordinators may have been Gary Tranquil telling us we've got to take some chances. Here's Darren Durant. He'll give the ball off to Madison Hedgecock. Hedgecock cutting back, lowers his head, comes out to about the 30-yard line, gets 7. So it'll be second down and 3. Roger McIntosh on the tackle. The clock continues to move. 1:10 right now left to play first half here in Chapel Hill.
This game had to have been a coach's nightmare for the Miami staff. I mean, their coaches trying to get the team to take Carolina seriously, and I'm sure that many of the Miami players may not have.
Carolina got a beneficial spot. They run the shovel pass to Jaworski Polak, and he's got the first down. Carolina running short side to the left toward the Carolina boundary, and Darren Durant pitched it to Jaworski Polak. He gets the first down. 51 seconds left to play first half. The clock stopped. They're moving the chain. And Darren Durant getting the call. Durant looked like he wanted to take a timeout, but then realized that the clock had stopped on the movement of the chains for the first down. Now the ball is marked ready for play, and the clock has started. Durant in the shotgun. Spread formation. Durant back to throw. Durant looking. Whips a pass over the middle. Caught by Holly. Holly's across midfield in the 45. It'll stop the clock at 37 seconds. Marcus Maxey on the tackle. They're moving the chain.
One more play like that, about 10 more yards, and you're in Connor Barth range.
Durant backing into the shotgun. Now the clock is being wound by referee Flanagan down to 35. Durant back to throw, looking, shoots a pass, incomplete, just out of the reach of Holly. Inside the 40 at about the 37-yard line. Clock stopped, 30 seconds left in the first half. John Hamlet going in at tight end. Scott Brummett is coming out. By the way, Brummett's made him a remarkable recovery. He was hurt in practice the week of the state game. Tar Heels thought he might be out for the entire year. He came back to play tonight. And, of course, caught the touchdown pass a moment ago from Darian Durant. Durant's second touchdown toss of the night. He had one earlier this evening to Mark Mason of 35 yards. Here's Durant, shotgun on 2nd and 10. Durant back to throw. Getting some pressure, throws it over the middle. Incomplete. Polak juggled it. He had a defender right with him, and it was Antrell Roll, but he couldn't hold it. Clock stopped, 25 seconds. Carolina's got 2 timeouts left, Mick.
Plenty of time. Third down, though, so you got to get what you're going to get on this next play. Set up maybe a field goal. Woody, crossing routes, the dig routes, the skinny post, the slants inside are very good against man coverage, and that's what the Tar Heels are making a living on right now.
5th play of this drive that started back at the Carolina 23. Heels lead it 21-14. Durant in the shotgun. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Durant back to throw. Durant looking over the middle. Got an open receiver. Hamlet. 20, 15, 10. Carolina should take a quick timeout. Of course, the clock is stopped at 17 seconds to move the chain. Anthony Reddick on the tackle, but the Tar Heels now do take a timeout to give themselves a little more time to talk about it. Timeout, Carolina. They'll have one left. The Tar Heels will.
Tough throw for the quarterback. Darian Durant's got to loft that ball over a defender and then make it come nose down right to his tight end, and he delivered a perfect strike. He had to throw a softer ball there so it would get in there, and he did it.
Carolina 3 of 6 in third down conversions, and all of them have been third and long.
Well, my key to the game was the play of Carolina's wide receivers. They've done well catching most of what they could catch tonight. I should have mentioned also the tight ends, because both Brummett and also Hamlet have been big parts of the Carolina passing attack tonight. So here's the situation. You're up 21-14, 17 seconds to go until halftime, one timeout, and the ball's at the 9-yard line on the left hash mark.
First and goal, Miami 9, 17 seconds remain in the first half. Got to be careful here. You want to get something out of this. If not a touchdown, certainly a field goal. Madison Hedgecock, the fullback, offset to the right side. Now they'll get motion inside from Pollock to the right. Here's Durant sprinting out, dumps it off to Pollock at the 5. Pollock turns the corner, dives out of bounds at the 1. Clock stopped, 11 seconds to go. First half. Antrell Roll forced him out of bounds. Remember, Carolina's got one timeout left. It's 21-14. And a lot of seats in this facility that were empty at the outset, and there weren't that many, all now seem to be full.
Got time for 2 plays. You can run the ball if you want to, but if you don't get in, you got to take a timeout. What excitement.
Darian Durant came over to the sideline to have a brief word on getting the play. Now he brings Carolina up, 1st and 10. Power I, Ricky Cook and Hedgecock in behind it. Miami with a 5-man front. Durant under center. He'll give the ball off to Hedgecock, and Hedgecock tripped up, and Carolina will take a timeout. Clock is stopped, 7 seconds left. That play never really had a chance to develop. Boy, Miami filling every gap along that defensive front.
Yeah, Darian, it looked like he had 2 plays called, maybe like, one play and then alert to another play, and he never could get that play off the ground.
Boy, the crowd would like the Tar Heels to take one more crack.
He can't do it.
Nope, you'd have to do it with a pass, and you'd have to throw it quick to either score or have it fall incomplete, and the clock stop with time remaining for the field goal unit. But what else might happen is that ball might be intercepted, and you wouldn't get anything out of this trip.
At this rate,
well, they're going for it. How about this?
He's got time to throw a quick pass.
Well, here they come.
Now Miami wants a timeout.
I don't know that anybody has stood toe-to-toe with the Hurricanes like this, particularly a team with a losing record, and looked Miami right in the eye and said, we think we can get it into the end zone. Timeout on the field. 7 seconds remain. Whoop. Let's stay right here. Let's stay right here, because this is not a timeout that's going to probably last very long. 21-14, Carolina leading. The Tar Heels with 351 yards of total offense here in the first half. Miami with 191. Durant, 12 of 18, 176, 2 touchdowns. Chad Scott, 118 yards in the first half.
Can you believe that? The Tar Heels are on pace to gain 700 yards in this game against Miami. Now, obviously, there's a lot of football left to play. I think the one thing you want to focus on here is the strategy with the ball at the 2-yard line and no timeouts remaining. You cannot get tackled inbounds short of the goal line, or the half will expire. So you could take, probably what the Tar Heels will do is throw a quick fade, just try to throw the ball up to either Mason in the left corner or maybe Holly on the right side. Just try to go up top, and if that's not successful, the incomplete pass will stop the clock. You get your field goal kick.
Sideline trying to get the students to be quiet. Here comes Carolina up, only 7 seconds left. Ball is at the 2-yard line. Durant under center. Durant gets motion with Pollock to the right side. Durant straight back to throw. Durant looking, throws it, corner of the end zone, ball intercepted. Here goes Miami the other way. Miami down the sideline. Durant trying to catch up, and Durant will run him down, or is it Durant? is Jesse Holly. And that was the one thing we were afraid of, that you might throw an interception if you tried it. Jesse Holly, number 9, and not Durant, number 4.
Penalty.
Ran the receiver down. It is the first turnover of the game, and there's a penalty on the play.
The interception during the run back. Illegal block in the back by Miami. A penalty decline. The quarter is over.
So that is the end of the first half. So the Tar Heels take 2 trips into the red zone in the first half. Don't get anything, but they lead 21-14. So we're getting set to start the third period. And Connor Barth gets set to kick off to Devin Hester and Darnell Jenkins. There have been some short kickoffs. Hester near side and Jenkins far side. Freshman from Wilmington comes forward. This is a driving kick that hits, takes a bounce. Hester feels it, lost the ball. It's loose, and Miami falls on it at the 15-yard line. The ball sort of really rolled right up Hester. It's over his head. He's turning to look for it, and then he may have lost it in the lights. And it was left for Jenkins, the sophomore from Miami, to come hustling in from the left side and fall on it to give Miami 1st and 10 at its own 15-yard line.
That's key, Woody, because I think Miami would like to get their passing game going very quickly in this half, yet they don't start the third quarter with good field position.
Brock Berlin, first half, 8 of 12, 156 yards, 2 scores, sets him up in a pro eye. Split in to the left, flanker to the right, play action fake. Berlin back to throw, looking out to the left, throws, and the tackle is made on Everett, the tight end, by Cedric Holt right after he makes the catch, and Everett goes limping to the sideline, and immediately Greg Olson, the redshirt freshman from Wayne, New Jersey, comes in to replace the senior from Port Arthur, Texas, by way of Kilgore Junior College. So it's a first down out to the 26-yard line on a gain of 11. So 1st and 10, Miami 26. Hurricanes moving from left to right. Miami white headgear, white jerseys, green breeches. Carolina in its home blue. Berlin under center, the pro eye. He'll give the ball off to Gore this time, hitting off the left side, and he stopped after only about a 2-yard gain out to the 29-yard line. Stop made by Milan Carey. So a gain of 2 on the play, 2nd down and 8. Miami 5 possessions in the first half. They scored on their first 2 possessions, then went 3 and out, had a missed field goal, and another 3 and out. Carolina with 6 possessions, scored on 3 of them, missed a field goal, and threw an interception, and then 3 and out on 1 series. 2nd down and 8, 29, open field to the right. Flanker there, Parrish goes in motion back to the formation. Here's the play action fake. They're going to run the reverse to Parrish. Parrish in a bit of trouble. Tar Heels getting chased. He's trying to get back, and he's finally taken down back at the 19-yard line. He was running all over the back lot trying to get out of the backfield as Carolina had the play well diagnosed, and Jeff Longity, the junior from Wade, was the guy who finally wrapped him up, took him down for a loss of 10.
It's like trying to kill a cockroach with the back of your shoe. You whack at it 3 or 4 times, it keeps changing directions, and finally splat. You got him.
Okay, Miami facing 3rd down and 18 off the 19, and everybody in the stadium knows what's coming. Berlin's going to put it in the air. Brock backs into the shotgun. Gets a snap from Rodriguez. A low snap. Berlin back to throw. Pressure coming. In trouble. Incomplete. Tommy Davis and Brian Rackley. One coming, and Berlin is hurt. He's down at the 3-yard line. And the Miami trainers are coming out to attend to him. Also, Dan Hooker, the veteran Carolina trainer, has come off the near sideline to lend what assistance he can. Dan just sort of stands back now. The Miami trainers got to him, but he's there in case they need him, or in case Berlin needs some additional help that Carolina may have and that Miami did not bring with it as a traveling squad.
Berlin gamely tried to connect with a receiver, even though he was going to get hit, and he was unprotected because he was throwing the ball. He was dumped to the turf, and it looked as if he landed awkwardly on his shoulder.
Tommy Davis, the junior from Dudley, was a guy who popped him. And warming up on the far sideline is Derek Crudup, a 6'1 senior from Delray Beach, Florida. who's appeared in 22 games over the last 3 years. And thus far this year, he is 1 of 5 for 39 yards, no touchdowns, and no interceptions.
Just hadn't played much. He's a good athlete. His father played football at Florida and also Oklahoma and also for the Los Angeles Raiders. But he's just as green as a Christmas tree. So the Miami coaches will be nervous, I'm sure, about Crudup entering the game if Berlin can't return. Heels are going to get good field position. Miami will punt the ball from about the 5-yard line.
Carolina bunched up. They'll rush 8. Here they come, and he gets it away. A high hanging punt. Polak will get out of the way. Now fields it on the bounce at the 35, trying to get near side, and returns it for about 3 yards before he's taken down. Oh, well, you got to have the intestinal fortitude of a burglar to feel that baby on the bounce and try to run it back.
Jaworski does. He's a tough little football player and knows how to use his pads and knows when to get down. I mean, sometimes it's not, I mean, you like the testosterone, but sometimes when you're outnumbered, you just got to duck your head.
So it'll be 1st and 10, Carolina at its own 38-yard line. A 45-yard punt and only a 2-yard return. So Darian Durant, who in the first half went 12 of 19 for 176 yards, 2 scores and an interception, starts out under center. Durant will give the ball off to Chad Scott. Scott starts right side, but Miami all over him for a loss of a yard on the play. Orrin Harris, left tackle, was the guy who made the stop. So loss is maybe a half yard. Let's call it 2nd down and a long 10 for Carolina. Tar Heels in the second quarter, 215 yards of total offense. Miami only 41. Carolina set up with ends in tight. Got 2 wide receivers out to the right. Here's Durant. Play action fake. Rolls out to his right. Looking to throw. Now pulls it down. Runs with it. And has got the first down across midfield to the Miami 49. Greg Threet, who must have led the Miami tackling in the first half. We get no numbers on that. Makes the stop. But it's a 13-yard run on 2nd and 10 and a 1st and 10 Carolina.
Good job by Kyle Ralph, the right tackle, lined up with the defensive end against Miami, and Ralph knew when to stop blocking, or else he would have been called for a hold. Intelligent football play by Kyle Ralph.
Well, they're going to flop Jaquez Dumas, the tight end, over to the left side now. They'll overload that side. They get motion now with Hedgecock to the right. The handoff goes to Chad Scott through a hole on the right side, spinning away to the 40, the 39 of Miami. Chad Scott, who's having his best day ever as a runner with 118 yards at halftime, stopped by Leon Williams and Kareem Brown as he simply adds to the yardage total that he posted. And they're looking now at the far side, and referee Jeff Flanagan, who heads up this ACC crew, he's from Hickson, Tennessee, is going to take a timeout for measurement. Mike Webster, the umpire, John Godbold, the head linesman, Tommy Giles, the line judge, Vincent Parker, the side judge. 1st down, Carolina. Gorham Wood is the field judge, Doug Foley the back judge, and Mike Seyfried, the son of an old and dear officiating friend, Don Seyfried, the electric clock operator tonight.
Woody, it's not like the Tar Heels have gained this advantage in the game with sleight of hand or with mirrors or magic. I mean, Carolina has done a good job controlling the line of scrimmage offensively.
Durant under center, split into the left, flanker to the right, open field to the left. Durant rolling to the short side, throwing deep, and it's incomplete. Mason was in a foot race along with Jennings down the far sideline. And the ball is overthrown, and Lee, there's a yellow handkerchief on the field at the 48.
Yeah, Woody, it looks like Willie McNeil was pointing to himself as if he was the guilty party. It is indeed holding on the Tar Heels, so they'll lose 15 yards.
Carolina in the first half, by the way, penalties 3 for 25, Miami 4 for 20.
It's a 10-yard foul from the previous spot. If it happens, the hold happens behind the line of scrimmage. If it's a 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul, if it happens in advance or forward of the line of scrimmage. The good news is, though, the Heels will get the down again, 1st down and 20.
And it's back at the Miami 49-yard line. Brummett is out as tight end. Jaworski Polak back as wide receiver. They put two receivers to the left, open side of the field, one out to the right. Here's Durant. Play action fake on a run to quarterback draw. Got a block from Brian Chacos. And he takes it inside the 45 to about the 42-yard line. So he gets 7 yards on the play. Roger McIntosh moves up from the strong side linebacking position to make the tackle.
Miami had, Larry Coker said in the pregame that he said, we know Carolina likes to run the quarterback draw, the quarterback dart, the quarterback follow, a variety of daring carries, but still they've not had much of an answer for it tonight as Durant has gotten good yardage.
Well, they're going to put three receivers, including the tight end Hamlet, over on the left side this time. Mason is the short side receiver to the right. Durant in the shotgun, back to throw, being pressured, dumps off the screen, caught by Polak, and he's upended out of bounds at the 45 for a 3-yard loss on the play, right at the Miami bench. That was Chad Scott, number 6, rather than Polak, number 5, catching the screen. Anyway, the loss of 3 will be 3rd and 16 at the Miami 45.
That was an example of the slow screen or the conventional screen, the old-timey screen, where the timing has to be just right. You want the linemen to rush in, you want the linebackers to drop back, and then you throw the ball to a back in that behind the line of scrimmage and hope he can make people miss.
Carolina 3 of 7 tonight in third downs. They've missed their last 2 opportunities, and here's Durant looking at a 3rd and 16 from the Miami 45. Play action fake. Durant looking, throws, and it is caught at the 38-yard line, but way short, about 9 yards short of the first down.
Be a 55-yard field goal.
Devin Hester, who's been on offense, special teams, and is now on defense, made the tackle on the play. So David Woolridge coming on to kick for the Tar Heels. 1 punt in the first half, and it was a bad one, 22 yards. Deep for Miami is that guy, Devin Hester. 5'11" sophomore speedster from Riviera Beach, Florida, number 1 in the league in punt returns. Woolridge sails it into and out of the end zone on the side. So Miami's going to bring it out to the 20, and with that we've got a timeout on the field. 8:53 to play third quarter on a terrific October evening for football. Carolina 21, Miami 14, and you're listening to Carolina football.
So Woody, neither team has scored here in the third quarter. 8:53 to play in the third period, and the score remains Carolina 21 and Miami 14. Now the question is, what about Miami's quarterback? Will Brock Berlin be able to come back, or will they have to go to Crudup?
Yeah, it's Berlin back as the quarterback. 1st and 10, Miami at its own 20. Devin Hester and Frank Gore in the backfield. Here's Berlin. He'll run the toss sweep to Hester, coming to the right side. Hester finding running room, burst out across the 30 near sideline, finally taken out at the 32-yard line. Tommy Richardson took him out. Boy, the moment he touches it, he's at full speed. 1st down and 10, Miami. Held the nose of it right at the 33-yard line.
Hester runs a 4.3 40, and he's got a 38-inch vertical leap. High school track star. He is a jet.
Now Berlin will set up in the shotgun. He puts 2 receivers open side to the left, 1 to the short side. Carolina with a 4-man front. Here's Berlin back to throw. Pressure coming. Well, they miss him. Now the throw of the middle, caught. And it is Moss. Centerus Moss, who made the catch and carries inside the 45 for the first down. Kareem Taylor makes the tackle for Carolina, but here comes Miami, trailing 21-14. Tommy Davis almost got to Berlin, but couldn't quite get him before he unloaded the pass to Moss.
He just fell right off of him. I mean, he came in right towards his back. I mean, just a chance to wrap up and get him on the ground, and Tommy just bounced right off of Berlin.
23-yard gain, 1st and 10, Miami, Carolina 44. Hurricanes moving from left to right. 4th-ranked team in the country, number 3 in the BCS, 6-0. Here's Berlin back to throw over the middle, almost intercepted. Went right through the hands. It would have been a terrific catch. Looked like Milan Carey had a shot at it. The incompleted forward pass brings up 2nd down and 10 at the Carolina 44.
Tar Heels come back a little heavier with Longany and Justice in the ball game at linebacker.
Miami's going to set up a wing with Ortega the wing on the left side on 2nd and 10 at the Carolina 44. 2 receivers left side. Ortega in motion to the right. Here's Berlin back to throw. Berlin looking, shoots a pass, incomplete, intended for Olsen. Off his fingertips, and Sensabaugh was there covering on the play.
Berlin got knocked down hard again. The Tar Heels, I'm telling you now, I mean, like, we hadn't called Seawright's name very much, but he's been a man as he's occupied 2 blockers at some point. The Tar Heel defensive front is playing one of their best games of the season.
Quad Hill, Roscoe Parrish into the lineup for Miami on 3rd and 10 at the Carolina 44. Miami 1 of 5 in 3rd down conversions. Berlin backs into the shotgun on the empty set, which means there's nobody back there but him. Berlin to throw, shoots a screen, incomplete, ball deflected. It'll be 4th down on another outstanding defensive series for the Tar Heels, and listen to this crowd showing its appreciation. .8:02 left to play, 3rd quarter. It will be Jaworski Polak dropping back to about the 10, waiting on Brian Monroe's punt. Lee Pace tells us that Tommy Davis was the guy who got the deflection. Greg Olsen to make the snap. Monroe gets his kick away. Oh, it's off the side of his foot. Headed toward the, now takes a Miami bounce inside the 10, and it's going to be downed by Devin Hester at about the 6-yard line, maybe the 7 of Carolina. So the Tar Heels will have a long way to go, but Miami goes 3 and out on its first series and now punts on its second series in the final 30 minutes.
I mean, as a punt returner, you don't want that punt when it comes in tail dragging like that to hit the ground. But I'm not sure Jaworski, he would have had to run up through a crowd of people and try to catch that ball going hard to his right. He probably did the right thing by letting it bounce.
Darren Durant will be under center. Hedgecock and Scott are in behind him in the eye. Hedgecock standing about 2 yards deep in the end zone. Motion now coming with Holly to the left side. Handoff goes to Chad Scott over the left side. Scott almost into the secondary, knocked down at the 13-yard line. He was a missed tackle away from turning that into a big gain, but Roger McIntosh didn't miss the tackle.
He's slow to get up.
Yep. Vince Wilson is going in. Scott flat of his back at the 12-yard line. Training staff of the Tar Heels out to attend to him. In case you missed our announcement in the first half, next Saturday's game, the television situation has not been set, but we do know this. It will definitely be a noon kickoff, Virginia Tech and Carolina in Kenan Stadium. And so we'll be on the air at 11 o'clock next Saturday morning. First time Virginia Tech has been to Chapel Hill since 1946. And Mick, in that game, Charlie Justice had his first 2 college punts blocked. He never had another one blocked his entire career. And next Friday afternoon at 3:30 in front of the Kenan Football Center, a statue which has been built through the generosity of his teammates off those teams of 46 through 49, will be unveiled. And Chad Scott is on his feet, but he's having trouble getting going, and he's going to have some help to the sideline.
Like maybe an ankle. God, what a game he has played. I mean,
now he's walking on his own. He's been playing, Nick, we've talked about this from time to time when he's been able to be used. He's been playing with a bit of a stress fracture in his foot.
He's had cramp problems, some foot injuries. He's just never been able to string together enough practices and games to get a rhythm.
16 carries tonight for 133 yards and a 15-yard touchdown run that tied the score with 8:09 to play in the first half at 14-all. Carolina now leads at 21-14. And the Tar Heels are looking at 2nd down and 4 from off the 13. Here's Darren Durant. He'll give the ball to Vince Wilson. Little tailback, cuts it back over the right side, gets close to the first down. Not sure. It'll depend on the mark.
Pretty close to it.
Vince Wilson has appeared this season for the Tar Heels, and this is his 5th game, and coming into this game had but 6 carries for -6 net yards.
He's talented, though. He's powerful, and
they are going to bring the chains in, Mick, for a measurement. Clock is stopped at 7:08. Chain is down, and it's inches short. Well, this is a Ricky Cook, Madison Hedgecock type of situation.
Here comes Cook in, the big butterball fullback of the Tar Heels.
Cook is 265 pounds, a junior from Montclair, New Jersey, a transfer from Rutgers. Madison Hedgecock is 6'3", 260, a senior from Walberg, North Carolina. Lee Pace on the sideline. What's Chad Scott's situation?
Actually, Woody, it was a hip pointer, his left hip pointer. He is questionable whether he'll return. The doctors are examining him right now.
Okay, third down and inches. Ball at the 17 of Carolina. Durant will be under center. Cook and Hedgecock are lined up right behind him.
Good sneak for it.
Brumman, the wing, in motion, and Durant trying to sneak and has got it over his own right guard. Just stepped in behind Kyle Ralph and followed the mass of humanity out to about the 18-yard line for the first down. So the Tar Heels convert their fourth third down situation of the night in 9 attempts.
With a quarterback sneak like that, you can well, two good things happen. The ball never gets very deep into the offensive backfield. The other thing is that the quarterback can sort of feel that center and either go left or right and just get up in behind him. And then the third thing is the fullbacks can aid the runner, and they slam in there and help push you forward.
Cook and Hedgecock are going to stay lined up in the beefy I. Here's the give off to Hedgecock coming left side. Hedgecock lowers his head, gets to the 20-yard line, but that's as far as he can go. 2-yard pickup, stopped by the entire right side of the Miami defense. Mason, Hammett, Jaworski, Polak going in as Brummett, Cook, and Jacques Dumas come out.
It is, of course, illegal to aid the runner, but it's rarely called in the college game. Meanwhile, Chad Scott going into the Tar Heel dressing room, and he'll get looked at. We'll go to Lee Pace momentarily.
Mason, Holly, Polak all go to the right side. Durant's in the shotgun. Polak motions through the formation to the left. Snap to Durant. Durant back to throw, dumps it over the middle, caught by Polak, taken down at the 25, about 3 yards shy, 3.5 shy of the first down. Kelly Jennings, the junior cornerback, made a good play for the Hurricanes.
Tar Heels have used those slants, a little inside, quick slants, dig routes with good success tonight. Darian's thrown accurately, and the Tar Heel receivers have been brave, catching the ball over the middle.
Let's say 3rd and 4, because if the Heels get 4, they're going to get the first down. Wright, Fields, Polak, Holly, Mason. Wide receivers in. It's an empty set. 3 receivers to the left, 2 to the right. The ball about equidistance between the sidelines. Here's Durant back to throw. Durant looking, airs it out, dropped. It was thrown a bit behind Jaworski Polak, but he had a chance to make the catch with Antrell Roll right there, and he couldn't hold it. So the Tar Heels have got to kick it away. Goodness gracious. It was so close.
Would have depended on the mark. It might not have been a first down, even had he made the catch, because Roll was right there, just shy of the first down marker.
David Woolridge to kick it away, and Hester is deep, standing back at about the Miami 40. Greg Warren will make the snap. Senior from Mount Olive. Snap to Woolridge, and he gets it away. It's off the side of his foot, and it's out of bounds, and let's see where it will be marked.
That was a very short punt.
Oh my goodness, it'll be at the 40-yard line. It is only a 15-yard punt. Anyway, we've got a timeout on the field here in Chapel Hill. 5:04 to play third period. Carolina 21. Miami in excellent field position at the Carolina 39-14.
Tar Heel offense is winning the game against Miami's defense. The Tar Heel defense is doing well against Miami's offense. But the special teams, Miami is winning that phase of it. Carolina has a missed field goal. The Tar Heels have a kickoff that sailed out of bounds. 2 very short David Woolridge punts, including a 15-yarder there. So Miami is in unbelievable shape with the ball at the Carolina 39-yard line and a 7-point deficit.
First down and 10 at the Carolina 39. Miami moving left to right. 21-14. 5:04 to play in the third quarter. Carolina on top. Tyrone Moss is the tailback, and it's Moss coming right side, breaks through a gap, and fights his way inside the 25-yard line to about the 24. Jonas Seawright on the tackle for Carolina, but a fine 15-yard run for a 1st and 10 now for Miami at the Carolina 24. This is the second series tonight that Miami has started on the Carolina side of the 50, They were at the 42 back in the first half, but the Carolina defense forced a 3 and out. Split in to the right, flanker to the open side of the field to the left, out of the I formation for Miami. Brock Berlin at quarterback. Carolina fakes a blitz. Here's Berlin dropping back. The handoff goes to Moss, and Moss is thrown back, maybe for a slight loss on the play, back to about the 25. Doug Justice led the pursuit, so it'll be second down 11 at the Carolina 25.
Justice and Longany, we say again, we mentioned this in the first half, but they have played hard, aggressive football tonight. They've done well. Second down and 11 now.
Parrish goes out to the left side. It is Jala coming to the right, out of the I, the pro I set. Carolina with a 4-man defensive front. Now they show blitz from the corner. Here's Berlin. Quick drop, throws, and overthrows his intended receiver. Looked like Parrish was running a hitch, Mick. And before he came out of the hitch, under heavy pressure, Berlin had to release the ball.
It was curious. Berlin threw thinking that receiver was going to be in the end zone or near it anyway. So here you go. A chance to hold him to a field goal attempt. Third down, 11 yards to go with the ball at the UNC 25.
Berlin 2 of 7, second half for 34 yards. Sonoris Moss, Roscoe Parrish go to the left side. Jala out to the right. Berlin backs into the shotgun. Gore is set up to his left. Here's Berlin to throw. Pump fake. Now he shoots a pass. Got an open receiver and a first down. Olsen pulls away and goes inside the 10-yard line. Milan Carey, junior Marietta, Georgia, was matched up with him. But Olsen makes the tackle and gets inside the 10-yard line. And this is the first time tonight that the nation's number 4 team has been in the red zone. First and goal at the 8.
Good protection by Miami's offensive line. Berlin had plenty of time.
Moss is the lone running back. Actually, Humphrey's in the offset eye to the left. Berlin under center. First and goal at the 8. 21-14, Carolina leads. Miami trying to tie. The give is off to Moss, and he scores the touchdown over the left side. Tyrone Moss took the handoff and just kept churning until he got to the end zone. And so now it's a 21-20 game, and Miami will try to kick for the tie. Tremaine Goddard going into Carolina's extra point defense now as Jacoby Watkins comes out. So that is a 38-yard drive in only 5 plays.
Substitution. Offense, 5 yards. Will extend for 1 on-time down.
Like the Canes broke the huddle with 1 too many.
That was referee Jeff Flanagan. So this has been moved back now to the 8-yard line and turns it into almost a 25-yard field goal.
He's never missed a PAT in his career.
That touchdown from Moss, by the way, his 5th of the season. Here's the point after, and it's good. So we've got a tie game with 3:13 remaining to be played, third quarter. Carolina 21, Miami 21. Monroe set to kick off. Goddard and Roberts are deep. High end over end kick. It's going to be Roberts at the 5. Roberts coming near side to the 10, to the 15, to the 20, and Roberts is out to the 23, where, whoa, Devin Hester really put the leather to him. So Carolina will have it 1st and 10 at that point with 3:09 left in the third quarter. And that touchdown a moment ago means that every opponent this season has scored on Carolina in the third quarter. The Tar Heels have scored 5 touchdowns this season in the third quarter, but they've had no points against Virginia, Louisville, and NC State. The guys in the bashful blue could sure use some points right now on the board. 1st and 10 from the 23. Actually, they marked it at the 22. Durant in the shotgun. Will give the ball off to Madison Hedgecock. Hedgecock over the left side, gets out to about the 25. Roger McIntosh there on the tackle. So a pickup of about 3, and it'll be 2nd down and 7 at the 25. Hedgecock on the night at tailback. That's his 8th carry. of the night for 33 yards.
Chad Scott being hurt. Carolina's second possession of the third quarter looms very large right now.
Carolina bunches 3 receivers short side on the left. They've got one way out to the right. Here's Darian Durant sprinting out. Durant's going to cut it back, run, gets out to the 27, no more than that. Tavares Gooden on the stop, and there's a hurricane. Bit slow to get up. He's on his knees, and it is the big tackle, Orion Harris. So third down. Carolina's got about 5 yards to get the first down.
Passing situation, Carolina 5 wides. Miami brings a dime package in, but they're late getting people onto the field.
Yep. Durant will back into the empty set, but we've got referee Flanagan stopping play and a timeout being called by Miami.
They only had 10 men on the field, Woody.
So 1:56 remaining to be played here in the third period from Chapel Hill. We've got a 21-21 ball game.
Woody, Chad Scott is still in the locker room. We'll see what part Lewis can handle in the offense here tonight with his back
Well, when
injury.
I said back into the lineup, he's actually in there for the first time. He was only about 90% in practice this week. Ran a little gimpy. Darian Durant, shotgun. Third down, they need 5. Durant's got plenty of time. Dumps it off, caught Hamlet, first down. Out to the 37, 38-yard line. Boy, that offensive line gave Durant all day to find an open receiver, and it was John Hamlet, the sophomore tight end from Lynchburg. Brandon Merriweather on the stop.
He could have been the third option on the play. It looked like Durant looked at Jesse Holly crossing, took a hard look at Jaworski Pollock, and then finally went to the tight end for the first down.
First down and 10 now for Carolina at its own 37-yard line. Durant brings him out in the shotgun. Hedgecock set up to his left side. Miami with a 4-man front. Linebackers about 4 yards off the ball. And we got whistle sounding as they may not have gotten it off in time.
Timeout. Miami.
They had too many men on the field. They had 12 men on the field that time, I believe.
So Miami has gotten itself now in a situation where the Hurricanes have only got 1 timeout left. 1 timeout left in the second half. Carolina has got all 3 of its timeouts remaining. We've got a 21-21 ball game.
Here comes Chad Scott back out of the locker room.
And Chad Scott is coming out of the locker room, and that was the ovation, the reason for the ovation that you heard in the background. And looks like Dean Crowell, one of the assistant trainers, has come with him, and somebody just asked Dean something, and he looked like he nodded his head affirmatively. Now it looks like they're going to put Scott on the stationary bike along the sideline so he can loosen up. Okay, let's check in quickly with Lee Pace, and then if opportunity presents, we'll go to Jones Angell at the scoreboard. Lee?
Yeah, Woody, when Jacques Lewis came in, he was in specifically for blocking in a passing situation. I don't think he's going to carry the ball, but when Vince Wilson is in, he is not experienced enough to pick up blitzing and blocking in the passing game. So I think that's why Jacques Lewis was in. Hopefully Chad Scott can get back in here because Tar Heel offense has taken a shot with him gone.
Jones will catch you later because referee Flanagan has now gotten the Miami defense back out on the field, and he says let's play. So Carolina will face 1st and 10 at its own 37-yard line. 1:25 to play third quarter. Tie score 21-all. Durant under center. Now motion Pollock. Here's Durant. Play action fake. Rolls out to his right. Looking back to the left. Flag is down. Durant's going to run with the football, and he comes out to the 43, but a flag was thrown way early in the play. Jayon Nanton, defensive end, makes the stop, and the Tar Heels are applauding like it's on Miami, and it is.
Offside. Be 1st and 5 from the 42.
Mick, you know, I noticed with a great deal of interest, you know the little boxes that the television networks use where when there's a flag, they show you that, and then where's their penalty, they drop it down? You and I went over this a long time ago, remember? Both ABC and ESPN dropping that little box down today, and maybe Jefferson Pilot, and they all said offsides.
Yeah, plural.
There is no such word in the rule book as offsides. It is offside.
Yeah, and it makes perfect sense if you think about it, because there is only one side that the defense can be off of.
So it is 1st and 5 now after the penalty. The ball, the nose of it is just shy of the 43-yard line. Carolina 43. Holly, Polak go to the right, open side of the field. Mason comes to the left. Durant under center. Durant will give the ball off to Hedgecock, and Hedgecock, dragging Miami tacklers with him, is out across the 45, right side to about the 46. He'll be about 2 yards shy of the first down. Orrin Harris on the tackle.
Boy, he took Harris for a ride. Harris
did.
301 pounds, and he got on Madison's back and just rode him cowboy, but for about 3 extra yards.
He was the top defensive line prospect in the nation in the year 2000. 2nd down and 2. Ball at the Carolina 46. 21 all. We're in the final 20 seconds of the 3rd quarter. Brummett coming in motion. Here's the handoff to Madison Hedgecock, and Hedgecock stepped out of one tackle, hits another one, still fighting. Hedgecock just now going down, but short of the first down. So it's going to be 3rd, and let's call it a short 2. Anthony Reddick was the guy that made the stop. And with that, the 3rd quarter has run its course in Chapel Hill. So we're into the final 15 minutes in Chapel Hill. Carolina 21, Miami 21. And this is Tar Heel football from, there's that bell. This is Tar Heel football.
We start the 4th quarter with Carolina facing a 3rd down, about 1.5 yards to go, with the nose of the football just outside the UNC 46-yard line.
Miami crowds the line of scrimmage with its defense. Here's the handoff to Madison Hedgecock. He's got, well, it's going to be close, but there's a flag down, and there may be a penalty forthcoming against the Tar Heels. Yes, indeed.
It's like an illegal shift.
Yep.
Well, you get the down over if Miami accepts it. Miami should ask for a measurement here and see where they spot the ball, because that will.
44 offense, 5 yards, straight to spot. Replay 3rd down.
Illegal motion. As Mr. Flanagan shows us one hand, had he shown us 2, it would have been an illegal shift. So they're going to move the ball back to the 41. So that now has turned into a 3rd down and about 7. And Chad Scott is back in the lineup for Carolina. 3rd down and 7. Ball at the Tar Heel 41-yard line. Darren Durant comes up to the line of scrimmage. Now he backs into the shotgun. Scott set up to his left. 2 receivers to the open side of the field left, 1 to the short side. Here's Durant back to throw. Durant looking, shoots a pass, and it is caught by Holly for the first down.
That crossing route again.
He beat Kelly Jennings on the crossing route over the middle of the field. All night on those crossing patterns, Mick, it seems that the Miami defender has been behind the Carolina receiver almost every time.
Yeah, when you're in man coverage, that is such a difficult route to defense because you don't have zone help. In other words, that receiver's not running into a safety zone or a linebacker's underneath zone. So if you can break, if you can come out of your cut and get the inside leverage, it can be a big play.
1st and 10, Miami 44 as the Heels move toward the east goal here in Chapel Hill. Motion now with Polak. Now Durant back to throw. He's going to run the quarterback draw, looking for a block, pulling away inside the 40. He goes to about the 38-yard line. Gets 6 on the play. Buraka Allens makes the stop. Darren Durant, the senior from Florence, South Carolina, came into the game 8,429 yards of total offense to his credit. He has now rushed 10 times for 58 yards tonight. 2nd down and 4 from the 38. Chad Scott in at tailback, and Scott the ball carrier. Scott into the secondary, got the first down as he goes to the 33. Boy, what a quick burst behind Kyle Ralph, right side.
He can change direction. I mean, that's just what he's got. That other Tar Heel tailbacks, ever since maybe Leon Johnson or Curtis Johnson or Natrone Means, who was an interesting back. Chad has been able to, with a tackler bearing right down on him, a tackler right in his sights, he's been able to slip that tackler and gain more yardage.
1st and 10 at the 34. Yeah. God gave some things to some people he didn't give to everybody. Mike Mason, Jesse Holly set up to the right in the slot, set up to the left in the slot. Ends are in tight. Here's Darren Durant giving off to Chad Scott, trying to get the corner. 30. Chad Scott, 25-yard line, fumbles the ball, but I believe Carolina fell on it.
Yep.
Carolina has got the football. Jaquez Dumas, the big tight end from Asheboro, was the guy on the ball.
I think a lot of Carolina fans came here tonight, Woody, thinking, well, I hope Carolina doesn't get blown out. And then after about halftime, it was, well, whatever happens, it's been a great night. And now in the fourth quarter with a tie game and the Heels driving, they want the victory.
This drive started back at the Carolina 22 following the Miami kickoff and Dell Roberts' return. Durant under center. Wing to the right. The wing goes in motion. Here's the give off to Scott. Scott looking for a block. Steps out of a tackle. Goes for the first down to about the 22-yard line off the left side. Clock stopped on the first down. 12-16 to play in the game. 21 all. Durrell Mitchell. Jaworski Polak. Madison Hedgecock going in as Brummett, Mason, and Holly come out. So first down and 10 Carolina at the Miami 22-yard line. Open field to the right. That's where Mason comes. Durrell Mitchell is to the left. Durant checking off at the line of scrimmage. Hand signals to the wide receiver. Now back under center. Durant back to throw. Flag is down. Durant can't get out of trouble, and he goes down back at the 30, but there's a flag down on the play. Leon Williams, the junior linebacker from Brooklyn, was the guy who fought through to get him.
The line judge dropped the flag. Offside again.
Offside against Miami.
They're stunning and coming right up onto the football, right over the Carolina O-line, and they've just gotten into that neutral zone. The integrity of the neutral zone is so important, along with the marking of the forward progress. It's one of the most important but most fundamental things that the officials do.
Sixth penalty of the night, 30 yards for Miami. 11:40 to play right now. It's a tie score, 21-21. Carolina's got 1st and 5, just short of the Miami 16.
Look out.
Oh, here they come with the fumble. Ruski going to the left side. And down inside the 10-yard line goes Chad Scott. Boy, there was motion coming to the left side. Durant, Polak, and Hedgecock, but everybody else was going left. And Chad Scott was the ball carrier. And it's a first down. And referee Flanagan is winding the clock. It's 1st and goal at the 9. This is the 5th time tonight Carolina's been in the Miami red zone. 1st and goal at the 9. Motion to the right side. The handoff goes to Scott. 5, 3, 2, 1. Touchdown, Chad Scott. To 21, a 78-yard drive in 12 plays. Chad Scott gets his 2nd touchdown of the night. He has now rushed 21 times for 166 yards. Connor Barth to add the important point after touchdown. Snap, Greg Warren. Jarrett Hall puts it down. Kick is up, and it's good. 10:57 to play in Chapel Hill. Carolina 28, Miami 21.
The pressure now shifts to Brock Berlin and the Miami offense. Lots of time left, but what if Carolina should score again and get up 2 touchdowns or 2 scores? The Tar Heels, Miami has not been able to stop Carolina. The Heels knocking on the door of 500 yards of total offense. That drive covered 78 yards, 12 plays. It took 7 minutes and 16 seconds off the clock.
10:57 to play. Connor Barth to kick off. Hester and Jenkins deep. This is a low driving kick that hits. Gets through the legs of Hester. It's going into the end zone. And Hester will rush back there to down it, but did he touch it? They're saying he didn't. It went through his legs, and he chased it into the end zone. So Miami will come out 1st and 10 at the 20, and Mick Hester's had problems handling Barth's last 2 kickoffs.
The last two have been gems. Hester expected that one to bounce up and come up to him like a kind of like a 3-hop ground ball, but it took a low hop and went right through his leg. So he can go back there and get that ball, and he doesn't, not obligated to come out of there. Of course, Carolina could have fallen on it had Hester not done so. It was a free ball for a moment.
First down and 10 for Miami off the Hurricane 20 as Hurricanes move from right to left. Here's Berlin, sprints out to his right, wants to throw, looking, throws, got a receiver, and he's out of bounds, and that receiver is Darnell Jenkins. Out of bounds at the 34-yard line, so it's a gain of 14, and it will be first and 10 Miami at that point. Now remember, this is a Miami team that did not play well in the opener, the postponed opener against Florida State, roared back at the end of regulation to force overtime, and then won it in the extra period. A team that trailed Louisville 24-7 at the half and won it 41-38. And a team that came back last week against NC State and Raleigh for a 45-31 win. First and 10 Miami at the 34. The handoff coming to the left side. And there's a flag down as the tackle is made on Tyrone Moss. And it was Cedric Holt who roll tackled him. And we've got a hold. It will bring it back. It's on Miami. And that flag was thrown before the play ever really developed, Lee Pace.
Yeah, that's right, Woody. Tommy Davis or Gerald Sensabaugh was being held on that, no question.
10 yards previous spot. Will move it back to the 24-yard line, and it will be first and 20 at that point. Now, Miami has had only 8 turnovers this year. 4 fumbles, 4 interceptions. Might want to walk right now ever so softly up to the radio and just lay your hand right on top of the radio and say turnover, turnover.
Turnover, or Canes are 5th in the nation on the positive of the giveaway takeaway game.
Frank Gore, the tailback, set up to the left of Berlin, who drops into the shotgun. 2 receivers open side left, 1 to the right. Berlin with a low snap, handles it all right, throws it over the middle, and it's over the head of Greg Olson. The big tight end got a hand on it, but he couldn't bring it down. Gerald Sensabaugh was there covering on the play. Nobody behind as that pass hit Olson's hands and then went up in the air. So second down and 20 for Miami at its own 24.
Berlin has had moments in his career where he's been inaccurate.
He has been fabulous the last 3 games. Tonight. 12 of 22 for 221 yards and 2 touchdowns. Berlin back to throw. Here's Berlin over the middle, got the crossing pattern, and it's a first down as Miami brings it out across the 45. Lance Leggett, the freshman from Arlington, Texas, caught the crossing path, the paths right in the middle of the field, and brought it to the near sideline and then galloped out across the 45 to the 47. So a first down. They needed 20. He gets them 23.
Yeah, that's kind of a honey hole for Miami, that underneath zone there where you got a linebacker for the Tar Heels matched up against a speedy Hurricane pass receiver.
10 minutes to play, 28-21 Carolina. Jenkins comes left, Parrish goes right. Miami lined up in a pro I. Berlin under center. Back to throw, looking, going deep, got Parrish out there, and he overthrows it. Jacoby Watkins covering Parrish, running step for step with him. And so the incompleted forward pass brings up second down and 10 at the Miami 47-yard line.
I don't think Jacoby thought that ball was coming his way. Parrish is fast, but so is Jacoby Watkins. Jacoby was jogging with him, then all of a sudden when he saw Parrish's eyes get big, Jacoby said, man, I better sprint, and he did, and finally caught up to Parrish.
Berlin, one of his last 3, got the first down, 244 yards. Second down and 10, Miami 47. Again, the pro I. Berlin under center, Carolina with a 4-man front. Berlin dropping back, will hand off to Moss on the draw. Moss running across midfield to the Carolina 49, and that's all. Gets 4 yards on the play. Tommy Davis wraps him up. Third down and 6 at the Carolina 49. 28-21. Carolina with the lead over the nation's number 4 team with 9:15 to play. Doug Justice comes out. Got another linebacker in. think what they've done is they put in an extra defensive back. So 3rd down and 6, Carolina 49. Berlin in the shotgun. They bunch 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Berlin to throw, dumps it off, caught, 1st down 40, 35 out of bounds near side. Centerus Ross, the junior flanker from Miami, Florida, and Miami converts yet another 3rd down play. They're now 3 of 8. And it will give Miami 1st and 10 at the Carolina 35-yard line.
That receiver coming out of the 3-receiver set, running all the way across the field. It's an easy throw for Berlin. He's just got to make sure he leads his man enough.
Leggett, Parrish set the slot to the right side. That's the open side of the field. Miami moves right to left. Berlin checking off left, then right. Under center, Rodriguez to give him the ball. He does. Berlin will hand the ball off and stop Moss. Taken down by Tommy Richardson, the linebacker. The loss back to the 38 of 3 yards will bring up 2nd and 13.
Well, this drive, the Tar Heel defense has done a good job of forcing Miami to get behind the chains, either via a penalty or incompleted passes, but the Hurricanes have had the good touch on 2nd and long and on 3rd and long.
Leggett and Parrish again will go right side. Humphrey and Moss lined up in the eye behind Berlin, who's under center. Here's Berlin back to throw, looking right, pump fake. Now he's going to pull it down, go deep, got a receiver there, and he overthrows it. Tried to go to Leggett, his deep threat. Kareem Taylor covering on the play. So it'll be 3rd down and 12 with the ball at the 38. 28-21 Carolina. A tick of the clock under 8 minutes to play in Chapel Hill. Carolina, one of only 5 teams in the ACC this year to play both Florida State and Miami. The others are Clemson, NC State, Virginia, and Wake Forest. 3 receivers go to the right. 3rd down and 12. Berlin backs into the shotgun. Here's the snap. Berlin dropping back. Pressure coming. Dumps it off. Caught by Olsen. Taken down short of the 1st down at the 33. Gerald Sensabaugh. Or Cedric Holt on the tackle.
They're kind of in no man's land. It will be a long field goal. 40, it'd be 51-yard field goal.
They're going for it, Mick.
A lot of time remaining, but they think their defense can rise to the challenge if they don't pick up the 1st down here on 4th and 8.
4th down and 8. The ball just shy of the 33. And Miami's coming up to the line of scrimmage. Berlin will be in the shotgun. 2 receivers left, open side, 1 to the right. Berlin gets the snap. Berlin back to throw. Berlin throws, and it's dropped. Incomplete. Carolina takes over. I have never, ever, even when Carolina beat Florida State in 2001, heard it any louder in this beautiful facility than it is tonight.
It's been a terrific night. Indian summer night in Chapel Hill, Halloween Eve, and the spirits have been with the Tar Heels so far.
Carolina takes over 1st and 10 at its own 34-yard line with 7:05 to play. Tar Heels were able to take better than 7 minutes off the clock with the last possession. Durant under center. Ends are in tight. He'll give the ball off to Chad Scott. Scott dancing right side, comes out across the 35 to the 36. Kareem Brown filling in for the injured San Antonio Thomas, makes the stop. So it's a gain of 2 on the play.
I think you got to play this like you're tied or maybe even behind in the football game. It's too much time to try to protect what you've already got. You got to try to get more.
Exactly. Carolina moving left to right, breaks the huddle. They'll bunch 3 receivers to the left side. That's a short bunch right at the end of the line of scrimmage. 1 lone receiver out to the right. The give is off to Chad Scott, trying to get the corner turn. 40-41. Boy, he was a step away had not Antrell Rowe got a handful of jersey from maybe getting to the sideline, and then it was Katie bar the door.
I'm sure Miami's thinking, if this is their third team tailback, what must those first two injured guys be like?
3rd down and 3 at the Carolina 41. 5:50 left to play right now. 28-21, the Heels lead it. Holly, Polak go to the left. Mason comes to the right. Durant under center. He'll get motion now with Polak. Here's Durant, sprints out to the right. Looking to throw. Durant's going to pull it down, and then he throws it as he gets to the sideline. And we got an incomplete pass, or was he out of bounds? I think they're going to rule him out of bounds. Back at the 38-yard line, Atkins and Harris were the guys really putting the pressure on him. So it is a 3 and out for the Carolina offense. And David Woolridge, who has not been very good at all tonight, needs to get away a beauty right here. Hester is dropping back. Roscoe Parrish is back there with him. They've got twin safeties back here on 4th down. 5:32 to play. The Tar Heels were able to keep the ball only about a minute and a half. Snap to Woolridge. Kick is away, and it's a beauty. Hester backing up, fields it, and makes a fair catch at the 10-yard line. David, I take back everything I've said about you tonight, buddy. Timeout on the field. 5:24 to play following a 52-yard punt by David Woolridge out of Davie County and advance. Carolina 28, Miami 21. So it will be 1st and 10 at the 11 for Miami. Remember, a confident bunch of Hurricanes. They are 41 and 3 under 56-year-old Larry Coker. They have only lost 3 games over the last 4 years. They think they can win, and most of the time they do. Berlin backs into the shotgun. 2 receivers come left, 1 to the right. Here's Berlin back to throw. Berlin looking, dumps off the screen. Got it out to Gore. Gore cutting back middle of the field. Gore down the sideline. Caught from behind and ridden down Jacoby Watkins. But he brings it out to about the 35-yard line, so it's a gain of 24 yards on the screen, and it will give Miami 1st and 10.
Hurricanes averaging better than 18 yards per pass completion. They're averaging 3 yards a rush, so this aerial attack has been lethal tonight for the Canes.
Miami 1 timeout. Carolina's got all 3 remaining. Berlin in the shotgun. Berlin back to throw. Berlin going deep, looking down the far sideline, and it's incomplete. Overthrown, intended for Darnell Jenkins. It'll bring up 2nd down and 10 for the Hurricanes at their own 35-yard line.
Tar Heels have defended the deep ball fairly well. It's the underneath stuff and the screen passes, the little dinks and dumps that have gained big yardage.
16 of 30. Brock Berlin for 287 yards. Lance Leggett goes to the left. They bunch 3 receivers to the open side. It's a short bunch on the left. Berlin in the shotgun. Quad Hill set up to his right. Here's Berlin back to throw. Berlin tried to throw, and the pass was deflected and caught by Miami. But there's a loss of a yard on the play back to the 34.
So Berlin will get a completed pass to himself.
Pass got deflected at the line of scrimmage, and Berlin caught his own pass. But it is 3rd and 11 for Miami at the Hurricane 34. Berlin in the shotgun. Miami 3 of 8 on the night in 3rd down plays. 3 of 9. Here's Berlin back to throw. Berlin looking, shoots a pass, caught, 1st down and more. Inside Carolina territory to the 45. It's Lance Leggett. We've talked about him all night as Miami's deep threat. And so Miami converts a big 3rd down play. And they've got it 1st and 10. The Hurricanes do at the Carolina 45-yard line. Just over 4 minutes to play. Clock shows 4:05. Berlin shotgun. 2 receivers go to the right. 1 to the left as Miami goes right to left. Here's Berlin back to throw. Berlin looking. Berlin steps up. Throws it out in the flat. It's caught. And sliding away from tacklers. The Miami receiver. And in this case, it was Buck Ortega, the third tight end behind Kevin Everett and Greg Olson. And so the gain is a yard shy of the first down at the 36.
Clock running. Miami only 1 timeout left, Woody.
Second down and a yard at the Carolina 36. Berlin shotgun. 2 receivers on the slot left. 1 to the right. Berlin to throw. Berlin looking. Airs it out. And it's knocked away. Jacoby Watkins was there covering on the play as the pass was intended for Jala. So that will bring up 3rd down and 1 Miami at the Carolina 36. Clock stopped on the incompleted pass with 3:19 to play.
Boy, what Miami wouldn't give for an additional timeout when they had to burn a couple with not the right number of men on the field earlier in the half.
This time it will be Parrish going to the right. Jenkins to the left. Out of the eye. Berlin under center. Gives the ball off for the first down to Frank Gore, and Gore carries it to the 33. Milan carry on the stop. So Miami converts another 3rd down situation. That one 3rd and short. Hurricanes are now 5 of 11 on the night.
That's scary. You got a run blitz on, everybody crowding the line of scrimmage, and Gore gets a big head of steam. If he breaks that first wave of tacklers, he could hit his head on the goalpost, as the old coaching cliche goes.
First down at 10:33. Wide slot left side. 1 receiver out to the right. Berlin in the shotgun. Gets the ball. 3-step drop. Looking left side. Throws, and it's caught. Yes, the officials are saying caught at the 11-yard line. Roscoe Parrish. Now the officials are conferring, but it is going to be ruled a catch at the 11.
That's one of the great catches this game has seen. Parrish sliding down, somehow was able to keep that ball off the turf.
First down and 10. Miami can make a first down without scoring. Jenkins and Parrish go to the right. Hester is in the backfield with Gore. Hester lined up as the tailback. Now they get motion from one of the wideouts. They'll toss it out to Hester, trying to get the corner turn. Can they cut him off? No, he's into the end zone for the touchdown. Devin Hester lined up at tailback, took the pitch, and then just used his blazing speed to get into the right corner of the end zone. And so Miami just an extra point away from tying this game at 28 all with 2:25 to play. It was an 89-yard drive in 9 plays and took about 3 minutes off the clock.
Petty's never missed an extra point in his career. Wouldn't this be a good time to get one off the hosel?
The snap from Curtis Justice. Ball put down. Kick is up, and it's good, and we've got a tie game. 2:25 to play in Chapel Hill. Don't go anywhere as Miami gets set to kick off to Carolina. 28 all, and you're listening to Carolina football.
2:25 to play. Carolina has all 3 second-half timeouts remaining. No reason Carolina cannot get into field goal range and use the remaining seconds of the game to kick the winning field goal.
Brian Monroe, the sophomore from Palm Beach Gardens, Florida, will kick off. Roberts and Goddard are deep. It is a high end-over-end kick that will go to Roberts. 10, 15, 20. Roberts to the 21, and that's as far as he can go, and we've got a flag thrown from way back upfield by the umpire. Anthony Reddick on the tackle. Referee Flanagan showing us that it is a hold against Carolina, and that's going to make what Darren Durant and company have to do even that much tougher. Earlier, Carolina, in our sprint scoring drive of the second half, marched 78 yards in 12 plays, and it took better than 7 minutes So our Sprint scoring drive brought to you by Sprint. Where do they get their best ideas? They listen to their customers.
10 yards from the spot of the foul. Excuse me, from the end of the run. First down.
So 2:19 to play, 28-28. First and 10 Carolina from its own 10-yard line. Darian Durant under center. We think it was Person. Right, Lee Pace?
On the kickoff cover team or kickoff return team.
Out of the I formation. The give is off to Chad Scott. Scott cutting back toward the middle, started wide to the right, then saw a little daylight over left or right tackle, burst through that and gets about 4 yards on the play. So second down and 6. Kareem Brown on the tackle for Miami. Less than 2 minutes to play. Carolina with all 3 of its timeouts remaining. Durant in the shotgun. Gets the snap. Back to throw. Durant dumps it off. Caught by Scott. Scott 25. Scott out of bounds. First down, 26-yard line. Devin Hester was the guy who pushed him out.
Durant in the shotgun looking to the right, and then Miami sort of forgot about Chad Scott, who drifted up and out to the left and caught the swing pass for the first down, and it stops the clock. Now with better field position, you can be a little bit more aggressive in your play calling.
Mick, it's interesting that Miami is using Devin Hester much in the same way that Clemson used Justin Miller today in the win over State. Offense, defense, and special teams. Here's Durant. Gets the snap. Getting some pressure. Got time. Looking. Now Durant's going to run with it. Durant pulls out of a tackle. Stays on his feet. Comes to the 30-yard line. And turned what could have been a loss into a 4-yard pickup. Marcus Maxey on the tackle.
Darian's carrying that ball way out away from his body, using that arm as ballast, and you just fear for that ball getting stripped. Miami, Lee Pace, what can you see from your vantage point about the injured Miami player?
He has been over. Looks like he's got a cramp, Mick.
It is Brian Pata, by the way.
Or a right leg, one or the other. In any event, it stops the clock on a play where the Tar Heels needed to gain a good chunk of yards or else stop the clock.
It is Brian Pata, who is a sophomore from Miami. He's a backup defensive end, mainly used behind Baraka Atkins. So it will be second down and 6 at the 31-yard line.
Got to get to the Miami 35.
28-28, 1:27 to play.
Well, this will be interesting to see how Miami plays this in the secondary. They're very good in the back end, and they like playing man coverage. But that's risky. If you leave somebody uncovered or you get beaten deep, it can lose the game for you. But then again, you don't want to give up too much of the underneath stuff either.
Mason, Holly, Polak set up on the left side. Durant will be in the shotgun. Madison Hitchcock is to his left. Now they get motion with Polak, reverse motion. Now here's Durant. Back to throw. Durant airs it out. Caught. Polak, first down at the 43-yard line of Miami. Kelly Jennings on the stop.
Call that a wheel route. He just kind of wheels out of the curve of the outside of a wheel. He comes wheeling out of the backfield after going in motion.
Clock stop. 1:11 to play. Change just now moving out to the up to the Carolina 44. Durant in the shotgun. Miami showing blitz. Here they come. Dumps it over the middle. Caught by the tight end. John Hamlet, the sophomore from Lynchburg, down at the Miami 34-yard line.
Now you brought winning the game into focus. 3 timeouts left. 1:05 to play in the game. Another 10 yards here would be lovely. From here, it would be a 52-yard field goal attempt.
22-yard gain on the pass from Durant to Hamlet. Again, Mason, Holly, Polak go to the left side. Durant's under center. Chad Scott behind him. Hands the ball off to Scott, and he's caught from behind. No gain, a loss of a couple on the play. Back to the 36.
I'd call a timeout right now.
Antrell Roll, the clock is down to 36. Carolina's got 3 timeouts left, but they're not using one. The clock is down to 30. Durant in the shotgun. Gets the snap. Durant back, shoots the pass, caught by John Hamlet down at the 32. They need to stop the clock, and they do with 17 seconds left.
I don't know why they didn't call a timeout on the play before. Precious seconds ticking away, and you need to get a little closer for your freshman field goal kicker.
Timeout, 17 seconds remain. Miami 28, a driving Carolina 28.
The book on this, and I don't know what Carolina will do, but it's give it to Hedgecock, get into the middle of the field, let time run down, then call a timeout.
28-28 the score. Darian Durant will be in the shotgun. Hedgecock set up to his right. Two receivers come short side to the right, one to the left. Pollock in motion through the formation to the open side of the field. Darian Durant's going to run the quarterback draw. Darian Durant is inside the 25 to the 24. Clock is stopped at 12 seconds. Has he got the first down? I don't know, but the Tar Heels have got 2 more timeouts to use. Tavares Gooden on the tackle for Miami. He is just short of the first down, but the referee, Jeff Flanagan, has signaled for a timeout to bring head linesman John Godbold and his crew from the north sideline. Earlier tonight, Connor Barth missed a 39-yarder when the score was tied 7-7 after Carolina had a first and goal at the Miami 7 and then suffered a pass interference penalty.
Just short.
Carolina 3 of 5 tonight in the red zone, so it is 4th down with 12 seconds left.
Time to kick it. If I were Miami, I'd put one of my quick jumping, leaping guys underneath the crossbar just in case that thing came in low.
They're not going to kick it, Mick. Right now, Darian Durant's talking to the referee. They're going to let the clock run down. Darian Durant standing right there with Mr. Flanagan to take the timeout.
Yep.
It's at 5-4, and a timeout has been called.
Good clock management. That's fine.
Yep. Timeout called by Carolina.
Let's keep it right here. You want to. This is not one where you want to go while we were away on commercial break.
By the way, when you're traveling home tonight, if you're listening to us in the stadium, be sure you buckle up. And whenever you drive, buckle up and make sure the children are safely restrained. That's a message from the Tar Heels and the Governor's Highway Safety Program. Well, it is 28-28, and Lee Pace along the sideline just said after he makes this what he was going to try to do. So that's the confidence that Lee Pace has got in the golden-haired youngster from the Port City.
Chance to grow the legend right here. And you know what? It is a good point, though, because John Bunting in the Dean Smith mold of coaching will want to say, okay, hey, after Connor puts this through, we don't want to over-celebrate. You don't want you don't want the game to end on a penalty. Let's just remember what the jobs are.
In the dramatic 8-point comeback against Duke, that was the theme in the Carolina basketball huddle that day in Carmichael Auditorium. Now, after we make this steal on the inbounds, we'll call timeout. So here we are. Connor Barth, 42 yards away, almost straight away. Greg Warren will snap it. Jared Hall will hold it. Score tied 28-28. And Miami is going to use its last timeout to try to ice Connor Barth. Connor Barth, earlier tonight, missed a 39-yard field goal. His previous miss was against Georgia Tech. So he tries to win this game for Carolina over the 4th-ranked Miami Hurricanes, unbeaten. Number 3 in the BCS standings, standing 8 of 10 on the year.
Woody, here's something the officials will want to be aware of. It's against the rules. If you jump to try to block this, if you land on the other team's guy, it's a penalty. So, you know, Miami doesn't have anything to lose, so they'll be coming hard up the middle, but the officials will have to be aware that that rule is not violated. Could give the Tar Heels a second chance if needed.
Nobody is out with Connor Barth. He is back at about the 42-yard line, going through the motions. Nobody has to tell him what's at stake. He knows.
Students have already left the student section and are rimming the field for a possible entrance onto the field.
Greg Warren holding or snapping. Jared Hall holding. Connor Barth for the possible win. Snap, spot, kick away, high enough, long enough. It's good! It's good! Carolina has won the game on a 42-yard field goal by freshman Connor Barnes. Good gosh dirty! Popping all over this place. It is like Fenway Park in Boston.
The goalposts are being assaulted.
Let them have them. They're coming down.
Look out.
I said it earlier in the broadcast. As great as 3 years ago was against Florida State, 41-9. Brother, this is a lot sweeter.
Miami coming into this game with 52-4 over the last 56 games, equaling the best ever stretch in the proud history of Miami football. But the Hurricanes got welcome to the Atlantic Coast Conference tonight here in Chapel Hill.
And it seems as if everybody coming out onto the field, as well as the majority of this crowd, has been dressed in Carolina blue. And let's go to Lee Pace, who's in the midst of all of this.
Woody, I am about 15 yards from John Bunning, who is absolutely in a sea of humanity. He is being surrounded by Tar Heel fans and absolutely fighting for his life to try and get out of it. He's happy and celebrating. It's a lot of fun, though. But there is just a bedlam right here, right now. He's got a highway patrolman who is providing an escort for him. This is much, much more than Florida State several years ago.
The Miami fans in the northeast corner of the stadium are stunned. And I know a few fans of other ACC teams tonight that are stunned.
Probably the first time in at least the last 30 years that both Florida State and Miami have lost on the same night. I don't think that's ever happened, because normally if they lose, it's to one another.
And how many times do you think Miami has been a homecoming opponent for anybody? Not since probably back in the 60s.
So many heroes tonight. Darian Durant, Chad Scott, Madison Hedgecock, the tight ends with their receiving, Longany. Carolina winds up with 545 yards of total offense on 79 plays. Miami 415 yards of offense on 58 plays. There is a differential of 13 and a half minutes in the time of possession. Carolina had the ball for 36 minutes and 44 seconds. Miami 23 minutes and 16 seconds. And Darian Durant on the game, 21 of 29 for 266 yards and 2 touchdowns. Jody Zorgner points out went 9 of 10 in the second half. Florida State wasn't top 5 ranked when the Tar Heels beat them here.
Well, they were in one poll, but they weren't in the Associated Press poll, which is the poll that most people look at for real sort of validity certification. This is the first win that will officially go on record over a top 5 team for Carolina.